On the day of the wedding, the eldest young lady of the wealthy family burst in a hurry. Pushing open the bridal suite door, Deep Tan, Thak Ling Ling fled the marriage. What on my big important day my bride ran away? Why? What am I supposed to do now? What's your hurry? The one whose bride ran away isn't me. Of course I'm not in a hurry. All right, fine, not teasing you anymore. There's still one piece of good news. Here. I straightened up a bit, watching her cautiously probing. Sis, the good news couldn't be that Thak Lin Lin was caught and brought back, right? That, to me, is absolutely not good news. If she wants to marry me, we get engaged. If she doesn't want to marry me, she flees the wedding. What the hell am I then? No, it's not that. Then what's the good news? Could it be the Deep family and the Thak family decided to cancel the marriage? The Thak family decided to let Thak Tanha replace Tak Ling Ling to fulfill the marriage covenant with you. Thak Tanha, Tak Lin Lin's youngest aunt, the late-born daughter of old man Thak. Hey sis, are you sure this is good news for me? Do you not know that me and Thak Tanha are arch enemies who can't share the same sky? Back in middle school, after I finished running 800 meters, I was lying on my dorm bed using a massage gun and she barged in a cold voice. Enjoying yourself that much, huh? Must be pretty sore, right? The girl thought for a moment, then said, that thing's output is too weak and you still have to hold it by hand. Let me stretch your muscles for you. I was terrified, quickly throwing the massage gun right at her. The two of us became like oil and water because of this incident. Even though Thak Lin Lin fled the wedding, the alliance between the two families still has to continue, right? No way I won't marry Thach Tanha swap to someone else. I don't want to bring disaster upon myself. You think we're recruiting models here. Swap to who now? Thak Lin Lin ran away, and in the Thak family besides Thak Than, there's only little Thak Nam Nam left, who's still an underage minor. Thak Nam Nam works too, although not of age, yet she's still a pretty 17-year-old. Girl pretty good. I don't mind. You don't mind, sure, as long as it's a pretty girl. Even if she's 5,000 years older or younger, you'd still go for it, but Thak Nam Nam can't do it. Oh, forgot to tell you, after Thak Nam Nam found out Thak Lin Lin fled the wedding, she volunteered to go out and look for Thak Lin Ling. I guess that kid knew full well she'd have to take the fall, so she ran off beforehand. Good grief, this Thak family, every single one of them is really pushing people too far. Calling a wealthy young master like me taking the fall. Either way, whoever I marry, I can't marry Thach Tanha. But don't you want to deal with Thak Lin Lin? She continued to entice me. If you marry Thach Tanha, you'll be Thak Lin Lin's youngest uncle. In the future, if you beat or scold Thak Lin Lin, you're just teaching a disobedient junior a lesson. Who would dare say a single word against it? I knew full well my sister was intentionally baiting me, but I simply couldn't resist this temptation at all. I knew it. You, my good younger brother, are a reasonable person who definitely won't make things difficult for the family. I glared at her. So if I marry Thach Tanha, I'm a good brother. But if I don't obey, I'll probably become a godforsaken brother. Hold up. I suddenly thought of a very important issue. Is Thach Tanha actually willing to marry her arch enemy like me and a man abandoned by her niece, no less? Is she not afraid of being mocked by others? You're this handsome, smart, and talented. Why wouldn't she want to? Being married to you, she probably wakes up laughing in her dreams. Just then the groomsman stepped. Groomsman Chu Tri Kang asked with concern, brother, then what's wrong? Nothing, just swapping the bride, that's all. How on earth is that nothing? Swapped to who? Thak Than. Ha! The moment these words came out, their jaws almost dropped. At this moment, they truly respected me to the extreme. After everything was set and ready, Thak Tanha and I stood side by side. The priest read lengthy vows, but I didn't absorb a single word, constantly, sneakily, evaluating Thak Tanha beside me. ID the long rambling vows, but I didn't register a single word, stealthily evaluating, left the chat during morning self-study. Fang Ying was wondering why Thach Tanha was actually willing to marry me. If Thach Tanha really dares to play tricks and torment me, I absolutely will not endure it. Perhaps because my gaze was too intense, Thach Tanha suddenly turned to look at me. Abruptly, confronted with her cold eyes, I felt guilty. Originally, I intended to avoid that gaze, but on second thought, why should I avoid it? All it's the Thak family that wronged me. I tried to act calm, giving her a faint look, and only then turned back to look at the priest up front. Thach Tanha, seeing this demeanor, mine only lightly curled her lips into a subtle smile, then also turned back to look at the priest. Ms. Thach Tanha, do you take Mr. Diepthon to be your wedded husband entering with him into holy matrimony, in sickness and in health or for any other reason, to always love, cherish, respect, and remain faithful to him until the end of your life. I do. I was smiling on the outside, but not on the inside, glancing at Thach Tan Ha. Mr. Diep, then do you take Miss Thach Tang Ha to be your wedded wife entering with her into holy matrimony in sickness and in health, or for any other reason, to always love, cherish, respect, and remain faithful to her until the end of your life? I looked at the priest firmly, replying, I do. My acting skills aren't bad at all. The priest was very satisfied, smiling and saying, now please, exchange rings. Thach Tan Ha picked up the ring box, opened it, and slipped the handcrafted ring onto my ring finger, her expression extremely devout. But I didn't pay any attention to that, because all my attention was focused on the ring. This ring was totally not the set of rings Thach Lin Lin and I had prepared. This diamond ring was brand new looking, even more expensive than the one prepared before. When it was my turn to put the ring on, Thach Tan Ha Wen received the ring box from the groomsman's hand. Sure enough, her ring had also been swapped. I didn't overthink it, directly taking the ring and putting it on Thach Tan Ha. Groom, you may now kiss your bride. Thach Tan Ha looked at me, then slightly tilted her head, stepping closer to me. My heart beat a little fast, but I still remained relatively calm. Surely Thach Tan Ha isn't willing or wanting to kiss me anyway, right? It's probably just using camera angles to fake it, to trick the guests below. I cooperated, leaning closer. Right after that, I felt my lips touch something soft. My eyes snapped open, staring in shock at Thach Tan Ha. Opposite me were her clear, watery eyes. I had a moment of Daze Thach Tang Ha had already let go of me, taking a step back. Damn it, this woman! The grudge of stealing my first kiss is completely unforgivable. The wedding concluded. Guests clapped to bless the couple. I looked at Thach Tan Ha with a slight smile, but was gritting my teeth on the inside. Thach Tan Ha, just you wait. She slightly curled the corner of her lips, looking straight at me, putting on an aura of just try and bring it on. Truly a woman of the Thach family from the first to the third. Unforgivable, relentless, till death. Leaving the church, we went straight to the hotel. After that was the evening banquet. By the time both families left, one after another, it was already 9 at night. I planned to follow Diep Jia home. Diep Jia was puzzled. Why are you following us? I adjusted. My clothes. Going home, Diep Jia didn't expect my answer to be like that. You're married to Thach Tan Ha now. If you want to go home, you have to go to your own home. Be good. Go on, home. I frowned, saying nothing. Diep Jia smiled and said, if I were you, I would live a great life with Thach Tan Ha. Look at Thach Tan Ha from height and looks to personality and ability. Is there any point where she isn't superior to Thach Lin Lin? If you just go home with us like this, if Thach Lin Lin finds out, she might think you're still deeply in love with her. Annoyed, I glared at Diep Jia. I'm at number 8 school and on the fake admission ticket. The seat number is written as 0, while the real seat number is actually 042. This morning, if your mouth doesn't know how to speak properly, then zip it, Diep Jia. And I usually dig at each other all the time. Forgot to tell you, if I were you, just to get revenge on Thach Lin Lin, I'd live an amazing life with Thach Tan Ha, giving birth to 10 or 8 kids right away, showing off affection in front of Thach Lin Lin every single day, and even helping Thach Tang Ha defeat Thach Ling Ling To Si's power in the Thach family. Just then, my mom walked over. Then about today's matter, Mom and Dad know you suffered a grievance, but Mom and Dad had no choice either. Just temporarily endure it for a bit. If you two really aren't compatible, we'll use that as an excuse to break off the marriage with the Thach family. I nodded. Yes, Mom. Arriving at the Thach family house, it was already 10 at night. Old man Thach said to me and Thach Tan Ha, Thang Ha, you two go back to your room and rest. It's too late today and everyone's exhausted from the whole day. If there's anything, let's talk tomorrow. Thach Tan Ha and I went back to our room to rest. Which room? Thach Tan Ha's room, or the bridal suite meant for Thach Ling Ling. Thach Tang Ha tugged on my sleeve and said, let's go rest first. I nodded and followed her into the elevator. The elevator door closed, and out of habit, I pressed floor 3. Thach Tan Ha looked at me directly, reaching out her hand to press number 3 twice, canceling the command to go to floor 3. Next, she pressed number 5. I was stunned. So embarrassing, I forgot. Habit. Before every time I came to the Thach family house, I would go up to floor 3. I'm going up there to grab my clothes to change. A few days ago, my personal belongings were brought over here, all placed inside the bridal suite, meant for me and Thak Lin Lin. Your things have all been moved up to the 5th floor, currently inside my room. Moved when? Today weren't the Thak family members insanely busy at the wedding banquet? The elevator reached the 5th floor and Thak Tan Ha stepped out. The room was decorated very festively. The bed sheets and duvet covers were all red, the walls plastered with various double happiness symbols and lots of balloons. Very impressive. From this it showed the Thak family paid great attention to small details and did things very thoroughly. Clearly everyone attended the wedding, yet someone didn't forget to decorate the new bridal suite. I went into the dressing room to check. Sure enough, my clothes and bags were all hanging here. Stepping out from the dressing room, I looked at Thak Tan Ha. Now we should have a proper talk about the two of us. Speak up, what do you want? Thak Tan Ha raised an eyebrow looking at me. What do you mean, what do I want? Talk about how we should act from now on. Thak Tan Ha leaned against the edge of the desk, her lips slightly curving up into a barely noticeable line, giving birth to a precious son early. I choked on Thak Tan Ha's words. What was this woman thinking? Still, hoping to give birth to a precious son early. The grudge of stealing. My first kiss today, I haven't even settled it yet, and now she's taking an inch and wanting a mile targeting me. What's wrong? You don't want to give birth to a precious son early with me? Don't tell me you want to give birth to a precious son early with Thak Lin Lin. Don't bring up Tak Ling Ling, and don't bring up Tak Nam Nam. My family only has 3 young women. If we don't mention Tak Ling Ling and Tak Nam Nam, then there's only me left. Speechless, I said, I want to mention you even less. Are you really aiming to give birth to a precious son early with me? Didn't you harbor ulterior motives toward me for a long time already? Thak Tan Ha glanced at me. It doesn't necessarily have to be early. Giving birth to a precious son late works, too. Why didn't I notice before that Thak Tan Ha was this bold? Wasn't it rumored outside that she was aloof and distant, a famous, cold beauty? Early or late, either works. I never intended to have any relationship with you. I just want to keep this fake marriage peaceful and trouble-free for a few years, respecting each other like guests, maintaining the interests of both families, and after that, dust off our hands and get a divorce. Neither early nor late works. Then that leaves noon. Giving birth at noon works too. Then, I know you aren't genuinely willing to marry me either. You were just forced helplessly. That's all. So from now on, let's mind our own business. Wait a few years until the timing is right. Then use incompatible personalities as an excuse to get a divorce. You want to sit on the toilet without taking a crap to the June folder. Screenshot, number 47. Saturday makeup class for the last period of the morning is math. Ah, you sure think pretty highly of yourself, huh? When did I ever hog the toilet without taking a crap? You occupy the status of my husband, yet you don't execute your duties as a husband. If this isn't hogging the toilet without taking a crap, then what is it? I wanted to refute but had no grounds to refute because what she said was originally the truth. If there's someone decent and suitable, you go right ahead and date them. I don't mind at all. Thak Tan Ha's eyes grew even colder. Step by step she approached me. I felt this demeanor of Thak Tan Ha was a bit scary. I wanted to back away, so sitting on the sofa, I gradually retreated toward the back. I was so nervous my heart almost stopped beating. Well, what do you plan to do? I'm telling you, don't do anything reckless. Okay? Where's my phone? I need to make a call. Call for backup. Thak Tan Ha bent down, staring fixedly into my eyes. Scared, I swallowed hard. Gulp. At this moment, our faces were extremely close to each other, and I could smell the faint, distinctive scent on her. I tried to act calm, intending to stand up. As a result, accidentally kicking her leg, the woman who was bending down already, unstable in her center of gravity, instantly tumbled down toward me. Just as I raised my head, the two of us crashed right into each other. Stunned, I momentarily forgot to even react. I just dazedly looked into Thak Tan Ha's eyes, startled on the inside, wanting to pull back and lean away. But Thak Tan Ha hugged me tightly instead. Early the next morning, I was sleeping when I felt something heavy pressing down on my chest. Lowering my head, I looked and saw a soft head of a woman lying prostrate on me. I couldn't help reaching out my hand to stroke her hair. Thak Tan Ha opened her eyes, half asleep, looking at me. Deep Than, I'm so sleepy. Let me sleep a bit more. In my heart, a strange feeling welled up. A person usually so distant and cold, yet she actually sleeps in too. Pretty cute. Just then, there was a knock on the door. The maid, standing outside, said, "Young Mistress Master told you and young master to go downstairs. The eldest young lady is back." Got it. The maid left. Huh. I was stunned. Isn't the eldest young lady Thak Lin Lin? Didn't she flee the marriage? How was she caught and brought back so quickly? I hurriedly pulled Thach Than Ha up to brush teeth, wash up, and change clothes, then went downstairs with Thach Than Ha. As soon as we stepped out of the elevator, we saw the sofa. In the living room packed with people, the Thach family members were all present. Besides the Thach family, I also saw Ko Duk Bak. Ko Duk Bak was sitting beside Tak Ling Ling. I flinched slightly. Ko Duk Bak is Tak Ling Lin's assistant. Why is he present? Here too, Thach Than Ha and I walked over, coming closer. I only then noticed Thak Lin Lin and Ko Duk Bak's hands were tightly holding each other. In a flash of thought, I understood Thak Lin Lin and Ko Duk Bak actually had that kind of relationship. So the reason Thak Lin Lin fled the marriage was because of Ko Duk Bak. I looked at the two of them in extreme shock. When on earth did they get tangled up with each other? For Thak Lin Lin to actually flee the marriage, for Ko Duk Bak really was unexpected. The appearance of Thach Than Ha and me caused everyone to focus their attention on us. All kinds of probing and evaluating. Gazes kept sweeping back and forth over the two of us. Thak Lin Lin looked me and Thach Than Ha up and down. I never left City A, so the matter of Thach Than Ha marrying Diep Tun in my place, I know about it too. Precisely because Thach Than Ha and Diep Than got married today. I finally dared to bring Ko Duk Bak back. If Diep Than hadn't gotten married, I absolutely wouldn't dare come back. Then Ha Diep Tun, you two sit down. The patriarch of the Thach family, Thach Kien Kwok, officially spoke up. Thach Than Ha and I nodded, finding a spot to sit down. Thach Lin Lin looked at Thach Kien Kwok solemnly and firmly saying, "Grandpa, I love Duk Bak. Why I want to marry. Duk Bak, please grant your blessing to us." Her mother, Nak Nok, furiously shouted loudly, "Thach Lin Lin, what nonsense are you talking about? Your fiancé is brother." ID pissed off, shouting loudly, "Shi Ling Ling, ID. What nonsense are you talking about, your fiancé? Once you've checked it, clearly use the information on the web. Then how could you demand to marry this kind of good-for-nothing man?" Ko Duk Bak was about to say something, but in the end didn't utter a word. Mom. Ko Duk Bak is not a kind of good-for-nothing man, he is the man. I love... Ko Duk Bak originally faltered a bit, but as soon as Lin Ling said that he felt like he was empowered with extra strength and confidence. What kind of nonsense are you talking about? The man? You love a man with an ordinary family background. Ordinary, looks like him from top to bottom. What point is worthy of your love? Brother Than is the one truly worthy of your love, the man, deserving of you. In my heart, I couldn't help sneering. Sorry, Auntie, I indeed matched Thach Lin Lin before, but now Thach Lin Lin isn't worthy of me. I'm not a junk collector. Mom, Duk Bak indeed doesn't have an outstanding background, nor does he have exceptional looks, but Duk Bak is very attentive and thoughtful. In my heart, he is the most perfect, the man, most worthy of my love. Nak Nok was so angry, she was rendered speechless by this rebellious daughter. I quietly watched this farcical drama. Who knew in this day and age I could still witness such an old-school trope? With my own eyes, I cleared my throat. Sister-in-law. My two words, sister-in-law, made everyone in the room freeze for a moment, all looking at me in shock. Thach Than Ha also looked over at me. Too hilarious, so hilarious. Brother Than really wants to draw a clear line with Thach Lin Lin. Now Nak Nok could not believe her ears looking at me. Brother Than, are you calling me before you always called me auntie? Why? Are you calling me sister-in-law now? From a younger generation, suddenly turned into a peer of equal standing. I looked at Nak Nok and nodded. Currently, I am Thach Than Ha's husband. Thach Than Ha is your husband's younger sister, so I naturally have to call you sister-in-law. Nak Nok dazedly looked at me. I smiled and continued, "Since Thach Lin Lin likes Mr. Ko, you should fulfill their wish." As soon as these words of mine were spoken, the people in the room grew even more astonished, staring wide-eyed at me as Brother Than, actually stepping up to play matchmaker for the fiancé who betrayed him and the side dude. Is brother than that kind and magnanimous? How come we didn't see it before? I continued smiling, telling Nak Nok, "Sister-in-law, Mr. Ko, here I also have a little understanding of him. He is indeed, just as Thach Ling Ling said, attentive, thoughtful, and a very good man." Ko Duk Bak looked at me in surprise. Ye Chen actually spoke up for him after he and Thach Lin Lin pulled a stunt like that. He thought Ye Chen would definitely hate both of them to death. Nakngok looked at Kodukbak, scoffing disdainfully. If he were truly an attentive, polite man, he wouldn't let Thak Lin Lin pull this kind of stunt. He clearly knew Thak Lin Lin was your fiancé. Thak Lin Lin, hearing her ideal man scolded like that, felt even more uncomfortable in her heart. Turning around, she argued back with Nakngok. Mom, it's not Dukbak's fault. Dukbak knew I had an engagement, so he kept rejecting me. It was me who liked Dukbak. It was me who clung on to him. It was me who loved him. Nakngok was so angry. She didn't know what to do. Mom, I really love Dukbak in this life. If it's not Dukbak, I won't marry if I can't marry Dukbak. I'd rather never marry anyone in this lifetime. Nakngok was enraged, to the point her whole body trembled. Then get the hell out of the Thak family. Go. This is the daughter I carried for 10 months, labored to give birth to, and spent over 20 years painstakingly raising. Now because of a man, she's threatening me here. You really want to drive me crazy. Watching this scene, I was extremely excited. It's here. The most classic trope in idol dramas has finally arrived, the female lead giving up her career and family for love, going through all kinds of storms to attain happiness, but this is real life. If today, Tak Lingling dares to leave the Tak family for Kodukbak, then this family isn't somewhere she can just... But I didn't dare to speak up in the group. It wasn't because I was afraid of being cursed out, but because after to return whenever she wants, I used the loving gaze of an elder looking at Tak Lin Lin to admonish Tak Ling Ling. Niece, you're a member of the Thak family, born, enjoying the wealth and glory of the clan. The outside world isn't like what you imagine at all. It's not that easy. Once you leave the Thak family, what will you live on? I understood Thak Lin Lin's personality too well, extremely arrogant and conceited. The more I said that, the more Thak Lin Lin would want to leave here with Kodukbak and then rely on her own ability to achieve success, opening the Thak family's eyes. Tak Ling Ling slightly frowned, just about to open her mouth to object when Nakngok spoke up first. Thak Lin Lin, look, Brother Than is the one who genuinely cares about you. Brother Than cares deeply about you. Even if you pulled a stunt like that, he still hasn't canceled the marriage covenant with you yesterday when you ran away. Your youngest aunt took your place to hold the wedding ceremony with Brother Than, but the marriage covenant is still between you and Brother Than. As long as you break up with this man, Brother Than will still be your husband. Hearing this, my expression instantly darkened. What kind of nonsense is this woman blabbering? Does she think her precious daughter is some delicious pork bun? She fled the wedding, and I'm still expected to wait for her. Thak Tanha also coldly glanced at Nakngok. Sister-in-law, words like these, don't ever say them again in the future. Yesterday, under the witness of so many people, I got married to Diep Tan. How could he still be involved with Thak Lin Lin? Even if you people in the Thak family don't care, we people in the Diep family still need our dignity. Hearing Thak Tan stick up for me, I immediately looked at her with an eye full of joy. Don't worry, the people in the Thak family need dignity too. Nakngok flusteredly blushed. They all needed dignity and face, meaning the one who said that like her was thick-skinned. Besides, what did Brother Than mean by this yesterday? When he agreed to hold the wedding ceremony with Thak Than, how wasn't it just to temporarily stabilize the situation? Her daughter was so outstanding. How could a man not want her and pick someone else instead? Deep, then don't talk so harshly. Tak Lin Ling spouted, dissatisfied at this moment. I burst out laughing as if hearing an extremely amusing story. I haven't even criticized you for acting so disgracefully, and now you're telling me that I'm talking harsh. Tak Ling Ling, if you didn't like me and didn't want to marry me, you could have just spoken up fair and square. We could have directly canceled the marriage covenant. Did you really think if you proposed to cancel the marriage covenant, me and the Deep family wouldn't agree? Deep Than, as if I'd bother clinging on to you, Miss Thach Lin. Lin angrily glared at me but couldn't utter a single line of rebuttal. Continued speaking, what, you and me? And another thing, now I've married your youngest aunt, so I am your youngest uncle. Yelling and shouting at your youngest uncle like this is this your upbringing? Thak Tengha at this moment was also very perceptive, adding in, Lin Lin, if you have any dissatisfaction with me, direct it straight at me. Don't make things difficult for your youngest uncle. Thak Lin Lin was about to vomit blood from rage. What do you mean I'm making things difficult for him? Can't you see youngest aunt that Deep then keeps insulting and scolding me? Youngest aunt, it's him. It's clearly him who keeps scolding me. Indeed, but as your elder, scolding you is also for your own good. Could your youngest uncle's scolding be wrong? Thak Lin Lin's small face was flushed red with rage. What is wrong with the two of them? Why does youngest aunt keep defending? Deep than aren't youngest aunt and deep than arch enemies. Since when did their relationship become so harmonious? Harmonious to the point of being a bit ambiguous. I raised an eyebrow provocatively. Tell me, did I scold you wrong on any point? Don't you feel that keeping everything hidden from me regarding your affair with Mr. Ko, don't you feel ID getting along so well even a bit? ID ambiguous. I raised an eyebrow provocatively. You tell me, did I say ID, a single wrong word, don't you feel like? ID having to hide everything? ID from me? Goodbye, do you feel? Deserve to be scolded because right on the wedding day you abandoned me and fled the marriage. Don't you feel that disregarding the dignity of both the Ye family and the Shi family just to pursue your love is absurd? Shilingling was scolded to the point where she couldn't utter a word. At this moment, Goodbye stepped up to defend her. Mr. Ye, I hope you won't blame President Shi. All of this is my fault. I looked at Goodbye and nodded my head. You're indeed a bit better than her. At least you know you did wrong. Unlike a certain someone over there. Shi. Ling glanced at me, the guy who refuses to lose an argument, and then looked at the chivalrous young man, Goodbye, beside her. Indeed, her Goodbye was still better, old man, sure, only now. Spoke up. Shilingling, are you sure you really love Goodbye, do you? Really want to marry him? Shilingling's eyes lit up. Looking at Shi Jiangguo, with a firm expression, she nodded her head. Yes, Grandpa. I love Dubai. I want to marry Dubai. Shi Jiangguo nodded. If you're this persistent and determined, then you two get married. Shilingling looked at her grandpa in shock, full of joy. Grandpa, Yue was astounded, looking at Shi Jiangguo. Dad, how could you agree? What point about this? Man is worthy of Shilingling. Though he's not worthy, your daughter likes him. Yue instantly lost all courage to object. Shilingling was overjoyed, beyond measure. Grandpa, thank you. As long as Grandpa agrees, no one in the family dares to object. Even if someone objects, it would be an invalid objection. All major matters in this family are decided by Grandpa. Shilingling happily looked at Goodbye. Goodbye was also so happy. He burst into tears. I curled my lips seriously, looking at them for another second would blind my eyes. Shilingling, right now, might still be immersed in a pink fantasy, completely failing to realize what she just lost. But I guess she will soon taste the bitterness of reality. Then what about Brother Chen? Yue was still unwilling to let it go, asking. Shi Jiangguo looked at Shi Qinghe and me. Qinghe Ye, Chen, how do you two think this should be resolved? This matter indeed needs to be made clear. Dad, rest assured we will work hard, so you can hold a grandchild soon. Although in my mind, I wanted to curse on the outside, I still smiled, and said to her dad, Dad, rest assured we will put in the effort. Shi Jiangguo smiled with satisfaction and nodded, his head good. Then I'll be waiting. From now on, whether at home or outside, no one is to bring up the fact that Ye Chen and Shilingling used to have an engagement covenant ever again. It's all in the past now. Ye Chen and Qinghe are already husband and wife, while Shilingling is also about to marry. Goodbye. No one is allowed to bring up past events, is that clear? Yes, we understand. Everyone in the Shi family, no matter what they thought inside on the surface, all strictly complied. Yes, Dad, Shilingling looked at Ye Chen sitting together with Shi Qinghe, her feelings extremely complex. Her former fiancé had actually become her youngest aunt's husband. Now there are some people Shilingling has permanently lost. Shi Qinghe glanced at Shilingling, then narrowed her eyes and smiled. After finishing breakfast, I returned to the room to rest. Lying stretched out on the bed, I grabbed my phone, intending to play around. Opening it up, I saw over 99 unread messages. I clicked in to look. So many people messaged me, acquaintances and strangers, alike all inquiring about the matter involving me, Shilingling and Shi Qinghe. I didn't reply to anyone. Afterward, I looked at the group chat, where brothers shared with Zhou Jikeng and Tan Hao. The three of us had a group chat. Help me deal with someone. Pausing for a moment to look closely again. All right, I knew I misread it. How could Shi Qinghe possibly use a gentle gaze filled with affection to look at me? What are you staring at? What kind of weird hobby is this, liking to stare fixedly at other people? Are you dumb? It felt like Shi Qinghe gained another weird quirk, looking at you. Shi Qinghe slightly curled up her lips. Feels like Shi Qinghe has developed another pipe bizarre hobby watching you, lips moving. Suyan, right? sitting, red lips half smiling, half not saying, "What's up, did you only now discover my handsome looks?" Shichinghe nodded, her head mesmerized. "Only now did I discover you actually look quite handsome." I had a slight toothache for a moment, looking at Shichinghe in shock. Nothing was wrong with her, right? Suddenly praising me as handsome. Weren't we arch enemies? Shichinghe looked at me and said seriously, "Before, I kept feeling there was something wrong with your eyes, which was why I felt you were nothing special. Only now do I see your eyes are normal. Again, so you actually look pretty, pleasing to the eye." I knitted my brows, confused. What nonsense are you talking about? What's wrong with my eyes? Problem. From childhood to now, my eyes have always been bright and sharp, never encountering any problem at all. Shichinghe with an extremely affirmative expression. There was, before there clearly was, however now, it's cured. I curled my lips, not bothering to talk anymore. Seeing this reaction of mine, Shichinghe couldn't help bursting into laughter. I stood up to change clothes, planning to make a trip to the company. Just as I went downstairs, I was called back by Yueyu. "Ye Chen getting ready to go out?" "Yes, that's right, sister-in-law." The smile on Yueyu's face froze slightly. "Ye Chen can I have a few words with you?" I nodded. My head, "Of course you can. Let's go out to the garden to talk." Walking with Yueyu out to the garden, Yueyu immediately used a sincere, whispering tone. "Ye Chen, I know Shilingling wronged you." I gave a yeah, fortunately. Everyone knows that. Yueyu didn't know how to follow up, so she could only take a deep breath. "Ye Chen, don't blame Shilingling. It was all due to that bastard Gudabai's seduction." I looked at Yueyu with a probing gaze. "So she thinks Shilingling doesn't have a single fault at all, huh?" "Sister-in-law, what you said is wrong. As the saying goes, where there's smoke, there's fire. If Shilingling didn't harbor those thoughts, then even if Gudabai used every single trick, Shilingling wouldn't even bother to spare him a glance." Her expression instantly became extremely unsightly. How could Ye Chen say that about Lingling? Her Lingling was so perfect. Where was the flaw? "Ah, Ye Chen, I know you're angry at Shilingling, which is why you're saying such harsh words. Yeah, Chen, I'm Shilingling's mother. I understand Shilingling the best. I know Shilingling was just temporarily blinded. Give her a little time. Wait a while longer and she will clearly see the true face of that Gudabai guy. Then she will come back to you." In my heart, I started to feel a bit annoyed. Before, I thought everyone in the Shi family was fairly normal. Now I feel the whole Shi family is full of lunatics. What on earth is Yueyu thinking? Shilingling has reached this point and she still wants me to wait for Shilingling. "Ah, you want me to wait for Shilingling?" Yueyu smiled and nodded her head. "That's right, you must believe that Shilingling sooner or later will come back to you." I burst out, laughing. "Sister-in-law, for me it's no problem, but for this matter, you have to ask whether my wife agrees or not first." Yueyu's face was full of bewilderment. Who was his wife? Don't tell me. He was talking about Shichinghe. I smiled and said, "Sister-in-law, as long as my wife is willing, let alone waiting for Shilingling to turn back. Even waiting for Shinam Nam to grow up would be fine by me." "Sister-in-law, is there anything else? If there's nothing else, then I'll take my leave." I didn't care about the gradually stiffening expression of that woman. Yu's face was cold as ice, speechless. I directly walked away. Tisk, what kind of delusion was that? Thinking Shilingling was some kind of precious treasure. Daring to tell me to wait for her. Before, why didn't I realize this mother and daughter were so delusional? Truly blind. Just now, Shichinghe said my eyes had a problem. At that time I didn't realize her meaning, but now I finally get it. Shichinghe was right before. My eyes really had a problem otherwise. My eyes had a problem. At that time, I didn't realize what she meant, but now I finally get it. Shichinghe was right. My eyes really used to have vertical bar a problem before otherwise. How could I have set my eyes on Shilingling? How could I have considered Yueyu to be a good person? Fortunately, my eyes have now cleared up. At that same time, Shilingling inside her apartment was resting her head on the shoulder of Gudabai. The two intimately snuggled against each other while watching TV. Gudabai suddenly looked over at Shilingling. "Lingling, I think we should sincerely offer an apology to Mr. Ye." Shilingling tightly knitted her brows. "Why on earth do we have to bow our heads and apologize?" Gudabai softly said, "No matter what is said, we are still in the wrong toward him." Shilingling felt uncomfortable in her heart, recalling yesterday's matter. Fleeing the marriage in front of so many people made Ye Chen lose all face, but out loud she was still unconvinced. Fleeing the marriage was my own choice. It wasn't entirely because of you, Gu. Bai remorsefully looked at Shilingling. It's me who shouldn't have developed feelings I shouldn't have had for you, causing everyone's lives to be disrupted. If I don't make things clear in my heart, I'll always feel guilty. His eyes were full of apology. Shilingling softened her heart and compromised. All right, I'll go with you to offer him an apology, but in my heart I still feel that marriage was never meant for me. If an apology can make Dubai feel a bit better, then I'll go apologize. For Dubai, I can do anything I even dared to flee the marriage. So what is apologizing to Ye Chen compared to fleeing the marriage? It's nothing at all, although bowing my head in front of Ye Chen will be very embarrassing. For Dubai, I am willing to take the hit. Dubai looked at her with eyes full of tenderness, carrying a trace of guilt as he shook his head. I've aggrieved you. All the faults stem from me. The apology, just let me make it and that'll be enough. Shilingling looked at him and gently said, I'll go with you. This matter was caused by the two of us together. I won't let you bear it alone. I currently hold the position of PR director for the Ye group. After finishing up my work, I returned home. Just stepping through the door, I saw Shilingling and Gu Dubai sitting on the sofa. Seeing me walk in, Gu Dubai stood up and said, Mr. Yi, you're back. I only spared him a glance, then turned around intending to return to the bedroom. Shilingling, dissatisfied, stood up and glared at me. Ye Chen, what's with that attitude of yours? Dubai is talking to you. Did you not hear? Dazedly, I didn't hear. I looked sideways at Shilingling and nodded, showing a look of disdain. Gu Dubai acted as if he suffered a monumental grievance, glancing at Shilingling. Speechless, I curled my lips. Turns out Shilingling likes this type of man. Isn't he a total green tea boy? Shilingling glared even harder, looking at me furiously. I raised my eyebrows. So what if I didn't hear it? Which rule dictates that when he speaks, I must hear it? Shilingling furiously said, Ye Chen, don't push people too far, I scoffed. Shilingling, in the end, is it me pushing people too far or is it you guys pushing people too far? You pulled off something so disgusting, and now you plan to play the victim. You... Shilingling was about to refute, but was pulled back by Gu Dubai's hand. Lingling, don't argue with Mr. Yi anymore. It's all my fault. You didn't do anything wrong. Shilingling looked at Gu Dubai and said. Gu Dubai narrowed his eyes and shook his head. No, I was wrong. It's my fault. I will apologize to Mr. Ye. Gu Dubai walked toward me. Shilingling reached out her hand, intending to pull him back, but thinking of the purpose of this trip, she pulled her hand back again. We originally agreed to return to the Shi family house to apologize to Ye Chen. Although I don't think I'm in the wrong. Dubai is a kind-hearted man. If he isn't allowed to apologize, he won't be able to get over the hurdle in his heart. It's best that as soon as Dubai apologizes, Ye Chen forgives Dubai immediately if he dares to make ID is wrong, but Dubai is a kind ID man. If ID he doesn't apologize, he won't be able to get over ID the hurdle in his heart. It's best she shifts the blame. I hate how she turned me into the enemy of the whole class because of things difficult for Gu Dubai. I will absolutely not forgive Ye Chen. Gu Dubai walked up in front of me sincerely, bowing his head. I'm sorry, Mr. Yi. I apologize. I coldly scoffed. Who do you think you are? Even if there's an apology to be made, it's not your turn. The person who needs to apologize isn't Gu Dubai, but Shilingling. Gu Dubai is a single man. Who he likes and who he wants to pursue is his own freedom. But Shilingling isn't. Shilingling already had an engagement, so she should have known to keep herself pure, although Gu Dubai isn't any good type. Either the root cause of this matter was due to Shilingling. Shilingling couldn't stand listening to Ye Chen insulting the man she loved like that. Frowning furiously, she said, Ye Chen, don't take an inch and want a mile. Dubai already apologized to you. What more do you want? I coldly glanced at Shilingling, not wanting to talk to this kind of woman anymore. Just as I was about to turn and leave, my hand was grabbed by Gu Dubai with a face full of sincerity he put on, a look of committing a monumental crime. Mr. Ye, I know. It's my fault. It's me who wronged you. I know a single apology isn't enough for you to forgive my mistake. But Mr. Ye, I really couldn't control myself. You've experienced it too, so you know. Feelings are the hardest thing to control. Indifferently, I replied, I don't know. Gu Dubai choked for a moment. Mr. Ye, I know in your heart, you're very angry. I know we made you lose face. I know. You love Shilingling very much. I shouldn't have done that. Mr. Ye hit me. Whether you hit me or scold me, either works. Mr. Yi, I apologize too. You... Gu Dubai pulled my hand and pressed it against his face. Speechless, I secretly cursed under my breath, freaking psycho. I wanted to shake off Gu Dubai's hand, but He held on extremely tightly. Shi Lingling brushed over. Ye Chen, what's with that attitude of yours? She angrily glared at me. Dabai already apologized to you. What more do you want? Let go. I know in your heart you're very angry. Hit me, scold me. If you don't hit me and don't scold me in my heart, I really feel very remorseful, Gu Dabai humbly begged. I yanked my hand back with force and Gu Dabai instantly fell over, his head spinning. Shi Lingling fiercely glared at me and shouted, Ye Chen. I knitted my brows, looking at her. Are you blind or deaf? Didn't you see he was repeatedly begging me to hit him now? He can feel at peace I'm helping. Can't you tell? Huh? Shi Lingling angrily raised her hand, intending to step forward and get answers. I directly took a step back. Shi Lingling, how dare you? A loud shout made Shi Lingling startle in anger. Turned my head to look back, only to see Shi Qinghe coming over with a gloomy face. Coming to my side, she nervously examined me. Did she hit you? Dazed, I shook my head no. Hearing me say no, Shi Qinghe's expression finally eased up a bit. Facing Shi Lingling, she said, What do you plan to do? Shi Lingling's hand froze, then slowly lowered down. He hit Dabai. Gu Dabai lightly tugged on Shi Lingling's sleeve. It was all my fault. You can't blame Mr. Ye. Shi Qinghe coldly scoffed, disdainfully looking at Gu Dabai. Since you know it's your fault, then what are you still putting on? A show here for Gu Dabai looked at Shi Qinghe in shock. I looked at Shi Qinghe, her biased protection of me like this really made me feel very relieved. Shi Lingling, dissatisfied, stomped her feet. Youngest aunt, why do you keep defending ya? Chen, clearly he was in the wrong where, if I remember correctly, this Mr. Gu here. Is your boyfriend right? Yes, Shi Qinghe flashed a bright smile at me, then turned her head to look at Shi Lingling coldly, saying, Since he's your boyfriend, then he is your youngest uncle's junior you. He said you was wrong then if your youngest aunt teaches her junior. A little lesson what is wrong with that. These words left both of them unable to refute. Shi Qinghe mockingly sneered, And as for you just now, I saw you seemed to intend to lay a hand on your youngest uncle Shi Lingling. Where are your family? Manners. Shi Qinghe tightly furrowed her brows. This shout made Shi Lingling, Gu Dabai, and even me all jump in surprise. Gu Dabai didn't dare to breathe heavily, while Shi Lingling felt her youngest aunt at this moment was truly terrifying, so scared she didn't dare to move. In my heart I was slightly stirred. Never before had anyone done this for me, even my parents and my older sister never had. I knew my parents and older sister loved me very much. If anyone bullied me, they would definitely stand in front of me to protect me. But the problem lies in the fact that growing up from childhood, I had never been bullied by anyone. This was the only time in my life so far that I was bullied, and it was also the first time someone stood in front of me to protect me. Shi Qinghe didn't seem all that annoying after all, huh? Under the fixed glare of Shi Qinghe, Shi Lingling's lips twitched, unable to speak a word. Gu Dabai, angry in his heart, didn't dare to talk back. What's all the noise about? A dignified voice rang out from upstairs. The four of us looked up. It was Shi Jiangguo and Yin Ruanjun. Our arguing had alerted the two old people living upstairs. The two came down and sat on the sofa. Shi Jiangguo looked at us and asked, What happened? What are you arguing about? Although his expression was calm, no one dared to act reckless. It was still Shi Lingling who spoke first. Grandpa, it's Ye. Chen He hit Dabai. Shi Jiangguo glanced at Gu Dabai, then looked at me. What happened? I used a nonchalant tone and said he requested it himself. Besides, I didn't mean to. He grabbed my hand himself to hit. Gu Dabai and Shi Lingling, hearing me say that, felt both angry and suffocated in their hearts. Is that how it was? Shi Jiangguo asked Gu Dabai. Gu Dabai aggrievedly nodded his head. Shi Jiangguo then asked Shi Lingling, and Shi Qinghe, then how about you two? Shi Qinghe calmly recounted, As soon as I walked through the door, I saw Shi Lingling raising her hand, intending to hit her youngest uncle, so I just taught her a few words. Did you really want to hit your youngest uncle, Ye Chen? Shi Lingling didn't dare to look directly at her furious grandpa, lowering her head in silence without speaking. Shi Jiangguo's cane slammed hard onto the floor. Speak, Shi Lingling grievously defended herself. He was bullying Dabai. How could I just stand by and watch my own man get bullied? Hearing that, Shi Jiangguo's expression instantly darkened. He forcefully set his teacup down on the table. Shi Lingling, terrified, froze, up her legs going weak as she collapsed onto the floor. Yu, just walking in, saw this scene. Anxiously, she ran over to support Shi Lingling. Lingling, are you all right? Gu Dabai also hurriedly leaned close to express concern. Lingling, how? Are you okay? Yueyu disgustedly pushed away Gu Dabai, who was leaning in. Get away! Gu Dabai took 2 steps back. Shi Lingling hurriedly stepped forward to support him, then turned her head to glare at her mother. Yueyu was furious to death. She cared for her daughter, yet her daughter, because of another man, confronted her, completely failing to respect her as a mother. Yueyu hatefully glared at Gu Dabai. It was all this man's fault. Otherwise, how could a good kid like Lingling treat her mother like this? I was secretly enjoying watching this scene. Seems like Gu Dabai and Shi Lingling must be strictly locked together, otherwise where would I get good drama to watch in the future? You right now definitely resents Gu Dabai deeply. How will Shi Lingling choose the mother who loves her or the man she loves? Really something to look forward to. Shu Qinghe glanced at me and smiled in amusement. Chen, your urge to watch the drama is written all over your face, smiling like a little sly fox. Dad, why did you... Don't pull that trick anymore. Stop doing it. What is? Said must be done. Okay, day. Treat Lingling like that. She... Jianguo coldly glanced at Yueyu. Why do you feel that I, this old man, am in the wrong? Yueyu's aura was instantly extinguished. Unwillingly, she said, I don't mean that. It's just, what did Shi Lingling do wrong to make you so angry? Ask that good daughter of yours to see what she did. Yueyu looked at Shi Lingling. Lingling, I don't care what you did. Quickly apologize to Grandpa first. She knew her daughter's personality very well. She must have done something overboard that made the old man angry. The old man had always loved Lingling very much. In this house, aside from Shi Qinghe, Lingling was the one who knew how to make him happiest. If it were just an ordinary matter, the old man wouldn't be this angry. Shi Lingling looked at Shi Jianguo, curling her lips. Seeing Shi Lingling not opening her mouth, Yueyu was filled with anxiety. Turning around again, she glared at Gu Dabai beside her. You speak up, is it because of you? Shi Lingling instantly stood in front of Gu Dabai, knitting her brows as she disapprovingly said, Mom, it has nothing to do with Dabai. Don't push Dabai anymore. Yueyu felt extremely exhausted. She only wanted Gu Dabai to make the whole story clear, so how did it turn into her pushing Gu Dabai? Lingling wasn't like this before. Before, she loved and respected her mother very much. But now, because of this Gu Dabai, she opposed her time. And time again I spoke up, sister-in-law. How about I speak instead? Don't make things difficult for Mr. Gu anymore, or Shi Lingling will be heartbroken again. At this moment, Gu Dabai glanced at me with an understanding. Look, this guy was doing it on purpose. He was deliberately provoking the relationship between mother and daughter. Lingling, Yueyu, hearing me say, that got even angrier. Lowering my eyes, I feigned an explanation. Just now I accidentally hit Gu Dabai once, so... Shi Lingling wanted to step in on Gu Dabai's behalf. Yueyu, knitting her brows, asked me back, why did you hit him? But in fact, in her heart, she was thinking, good hit. So I explained to her once again, just like what I said to old man Shi's sister-in-law. Do you think what I did was right? Yueyu looked at Gu Dabai with disgust in her eyes. Gu Dabai was so angry he wanted to grind his teeth to dust. He had originally done this on purpose. If Chen actually laid a hand on him, he would take the opportunity to frame him as an overbearing, arrogant man. That way, everyone in the Shi family would despise him. But looking at it now, it seemed things didn't develop according to his plan at all. Gu Dabai's expression was fully caught by Yueyu. Instantly, Yueyu saw through his petty scheme. Turning toward me, she said, you did the right thing. Compared to an annoying person like Chen Sai, Gu Dabai was even more annoying. If not for Gu Dabai, Lingling would definitely never have turned into the way she is now. Yueyu turned around to lecture Shi Lingling. Shi Lingling, your own eyes saw it clearly. Back then you didn't stop him, which means you tacitly agreed with Mr. Gu's actions. So what right do you have to retaliate? Shi Lingling was choked up, unable to speak a word. Yueyu instantly understood why the old man was so angry. Lingling actually dared to lay a hand on Chen. If the news of a junior hitting a senior got out, where would the Shi family's face be placed? She looked at Shi Lingling with a disappointed expression. Quickly, apologize to your youngest uncle. Shi Lingling glared with wide eyes at her mother, making her apologize to Chen. In his dreams, Shi Jianguo looked at Shi Lingling profoundly, then stood up and left. Yin Ranjun also followed him upstairs. You also gave up on making her daughter apologize. I walked toward the elevator with Shi Qinghe following behind. In a moment, only the eldest son's family remained in the living room. Shi Lingling leaned close to Gu Dabai and said, Dabai, you've suffered an injustice. Gu Dabai, with a lonely face, shook. I I walked toward the elevator, Shiching-hei, ID following behind. In a split second, the living room, ID, only had the eldest son's family left. Shy Lingling. ID sidled up to Gu Dubai and said, "Here." I opened the car door and stepped in. As the car started, ID such injustice. Gu Dubai, with a lonely expression, shook his head. The two of them ignored the people around them, being all sweet and intimate. Seeing that made Yueyu annoyed, so she decisively walked away. Shilingling gently caressed Gu Dubai's face. "Why are you so silly, huh?" He looked at Shilingling, smiling awkwardly. "Only like this will my heart feel a bit more at ease. I know that because you and he had a prior engagement. Today I took the initiative to shoulder the fault. Only when facing him in the future can I cast aside the guilt in my heart." Shilingling sighed, comforting him. "You're so silly. This matter originally couldn't be blamed on you. You don't need to blame yourself like that. He and I were just a commercial marriage without any feelings. At all just a commercial marriage. It was I who took the initiative to choose to walk with you. I know I understand the reasoning, but I couldn't overcome the mental hurdle in my own mind. But now, finally, I don't have to carry that mental burden anymore." Shilingling, relieved of a heavy burden, nodded. "This way is good too. Between me and Ye Chen, you and Ye Chen, everything between us and him can be considered a clear line drawn. In the future, there's no relation anymore. Goodbye, you also don't need to feel guilty anymore. You can wholeheartedly love me. We don't need to be afraid of anyone or anything anymore." I went back to the room looking at Shiching-hei, who followed me inside. I seemed to need to say a word of thanks to Shiching-hei. I'm not an ungrateful person, but it seems a bit hard to open my mouth. Oh well, forget it. Thank her for what last night she was teasing me, so consider us even. Shiching-hei looked at me, raised her eyebrows, and said, "In the future, stay a bit further away from Shilingling." Disdainfully, I raised my chin. Why am I still afraid of her? Shiching-hei looked at my arrogant appearance, feeling both amused and angry. Ye Chen really never learns his lesson, huh? Be careful, sooner or later you'll be bullied by others again. I know you're not afraid of her. Eldest young master of the Yi family. Who would you be afraid of? Shiching-hei glanced at me, responded to her with a glare. Yusha person. Don't think that just because you helped me just now, you can mock me. Shiching-hei sneered. So you know I helped you just now, huh? You heartless guy. I scoffed. Tisk. How could I let her hit me? Besides, if she hit me, do you think I wouldn't know how to hit back? Shiching-hei nodded. But can that make up for the hurt you had to suffer? My expression turned slightly ugly as I shook my head. No. Don't even dream of making me admit I was wrong in front of Shiching-hei. It's fundamentally impossible. I'm not wrong, I'll never be wrong. Shiching-hei understood and didn't blame me, only instructing, next time you face Shilingling, remember to be a bit careful. I curled, my lips got it. Shiching-hei, rarely seeing my obedient side, found it very interesting, teasingly saying, "Do you really know?" I knitted my brows and glared at Shiching-hei, saying annoyedly, "You're so annoying. I already said I got it, yet you still ask." Shiching-hei smiled and said, "I'm afraid you won't remember the lesson? Saying you got it now, but next time you're provoked by Lingling, you'll fall into the trap again." I angrily looked at her. "What do you mean? Is it possible that in your heart I'm a coward?" Shiching-hei, hearing that, looked me up and down, nodding mesmerized. I glared fiercely at Shiching-hei sitting down on the sofa to play on my phone. Shiching-hei went into the study to process work. By dinner, Shilingling and Gu Dubai were also present in the dining room. I coldly glanced at the two of them. Why are these two still here, really ruining my whole appetite? Shilingling glared at me. I almost sneered. Shilingling, a scumbag woman like her, still has the nerve to glare at me. Unwilling to lose, I glared back. And so the two of us just sat there glaring at each other, neither willing to yield to the other. Shiching-hei raised her hand to cover my eyes. "Stop glaring, look less, it's all stuff that'll ID." Just like that, staring at each other, neither. ID vertical bar, willing to back down from the ID vertical bar other. Shiching-hei covered my eyes with her hand. "I'd stop glaring, look less, it's all trash. Pollute the environment." Satisfied, I nodded. My head sat down, completely content. Shilingling, hearing that, glanced at Shiching-hei. "Youngest aunt, what do you mean by that? Am I polluting the environment?" Only when everyone was fully present did the meal begin. I knew the Shi family had a rule of no talking while eating. I was eating happily, when suddenly I heard someone speak up. "Lingling, eat a bit more. Look at you, you've gotten skinnier lately." Gu Dubai picked up food and placed it in Shilingling's bowl, gently and heartedly. Looking at her, everyone turned their eyes toward Gu Dubai. In an instant, Gu Dubai attracted everyone's attention. Secretly, he was happy in his heart, but he felt the way everyone looked at him was somewhat off. In his heart, he suddenly felt uneasy. Why are they looking at me with those eyes? Could it be that I did something wrong? Shi Jiangguo glanced at Shi Lingling, put down his chopsticks, stood up and left. Yin Ranjun looked at Shi Lingling calmly, saying, Shi Lingling, teach Gudabai some proper manners before bringing him back. If you can't teach him, don't bring him to the Shah family anymore in the future. Having spoken, she also stood up and left. Gudabai's expression instantly turned unsightly, but he immediately used an aggrieved look to cover it up. What do they mean? Did I do something impolite? Why? Do they have to humiliate me like this? Shi Lingling was also a bit embarrassed, her face flushing red. I didn't miss Gudabai's expression. Tisk tisk, if he can't even handle this much already, what is he going to do in the future? Wealthy families are famous for having tons of rules. If Gudabai wants to blend into this circle, he still has a long way to go. Everyone was no longer in the mood to eat, leaving one after another. Embarrassing. Yueyu threw out a line before leaving. Gudabai, flustered, looked at Shi Lingling. Lingling, did I do something wrong? It's nothing, it's just that my family has a rule against talking while eating. Next time we eat, just don't talk and it'll be fine. In reality, I knew this wasn't really a big deal. If anyone else in the Shi family spoke, no one would make a fuss about it. The reason it turned out like this was simply because they didn't like Gudabai, so they used it as an excuse to make trouble. Gudabai looked at Shi Lingling in shock. Damn it, what kind of ancient antique family is the Shi family whose house doesn't talk while eating? My house wasn't like this before, but ever since Grandpa married Grandma Yin Ranjun and had Shiqinghe, the Shi family became split into two families, eating together. Talking at the dinner table inevitably caused fierce conflicts over interests, and in the end, meals were never peaceful. After many times like that, Grandpa established the rule of no talking while eating. Ever since, Grandpa set this rule, although the Shi family members still agree in public but disagree in secret. In the end, we at least got peaceful meals. Shi Lingling instructed, you just need to remember in the future at the Shi family's dinner table, don't talk unless Grandpa takes the initiative to ask you, then you can answer. Hearing this, Gudabai held on to Shi Lingling's small hand. Lingling, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, I didn't know. I just wanted to show concern for you. Shi Lingling smiled and nodded. I know, all right. Don't be sad anymore, it's not a big deal. Gudabai bowed, his head hiding the regretful look on his face. What kind of people are the Shi family? On what basis? Do they scold me? What did I do wrong? I just said one sentence. Yet they spoke about me like that. I'm holding this grudge. Returning to the room, I suddenly recalled the first time I came to the Shi family to eat. I also discovered everyone in the Shi family was dead silent while eating. At that time, I chose to do as the Romans do. Later on, I found out the Shi family had this rule, didn't understand it, but still respected it. Actually, this matter of not talking at the dinner table had its good side too. For instance, today, Gudabai, ID. Doing this also has a good side. For example, today, ID pipe Gu Dubai, and Shi Lingling kept showing off their affection. There I probably would have been too disgusted to swallow my food. Suddenly a message arrived, my phone buzzing repeatedly. I picked up my phone to look. The top message was sent from Tan Hao brother. Shen quickly checked Shi Lingling's moments. Confused, I skimmed through the messages from other people. Most were coming to watch the drama and gossip. Brother Shen, who is that guy on Shi Lingling's moments? In an instant, I realized what was going on. Suppressing my anger, I clicked into Shi Lingling's moments. The first post was a photo together of the two of them. Shi Lingling, with a gentle and obedient face, rested her head on Gudabai's shoulder, accompanied by the status caption, for the rest of my life, please guide me more, Mr. Gu. I burst out laughing from anger. Shi Lingling really is something, huh? She actually has the nerve to post photos showing off her affection. Truly shameless, the way she cheats yet wants to announce it to the whole world. I was really furious. It wasn't because I still had any lingering feelings for Shi Lingling, but because the whole world knew I got cheated on. This, for me, was a massive humiliation. Having lived to this age, Shi Lingling was the only woman who dared to do that. In just a few short minutes, Shi Lingling's post already had countless likes and comments. Some gave blessings, some were doubtful. Left a comment below, my grandniece and grandnephew-in-law look like a truly well-matched couple. After finishing my sarcasm in my heart, I still didn't feel satisfied. I walked over to the study next door. Shiqinghe raised her head to look at me. Yichen, what's wrong? Quickly look at Shi Lingling's moments. Puzzled, Shiqinghe took out her phone. Seeing my comment without needing to think, she immediately played along with her husband's lead. Hubby is right. My eldest grandniece and grandnephew-in-law truly are a well-matched couple. Standing by her side, I witnessed Shu Qinghei's play and was extremely satisfied Shu Qinghei really is. So much better than Shi Lingling. Before, how could I have hated Shu Qinghei so much? No wonder Shu Qinghei said before that my eyes had issues. I looked at Shu Qinghei and asked, do you think they are a well-matched couple? Shu Qinghei nodded, mesmerized. I asked again, well-matched in what way? Shu Qinghei smiled brightly. Wherever hubby thinks they are well-matched, then they are well-matched. In that way, I suspiciously looked at Shu Qinghei. Shu Qinghei had now become really strange. Clearly before, every time she met me, she would find ways to drop sarcastic remarks, yet now, she sweetly calls me hubby. And so smoothly, too. The contrast before and after was way too big. What on earth does Shu Qinghei want to do? Could it be that she wants to win me over, asking me to help her deal with Shi Lingling together? Or does she have other motives? Should I just ask her directly? Would she tell the truth? But even if she spoke, I'm still not sure if what she says is true or false. Shu Qinghei as a person is very cunning. Shu Qinghei curled her lips into a smile, asking, you keep looking at me like that. Do you think I'm very pretty? I glares at her. Shu Qinghei, we are now husband and wife, right? Shu Qinghei nodded. Her head, I asked again. Then our interests are bound together, right? Shu Qinghei raised her eyebrows. Of course. I continued speaking. So to protect our interests, whatever I do, you'll cooperate with me, right? Shu Qinghei nodded. Her head, naturally, stepped close to her and said, then cooperate with me to take a photo. Stand up first. Come on. Having said that, I pulled her up from her chair, signaling for her to stand beside me. Shu Qinghei naturally linked her arm with mine. I took out my phone. At the exact moment I clicked the shutter, Shu Qinghei leaned close to my face. I paused for a beat, but my finger reflexively still pressed the capture button for the photo. Shocked, I looked at Shu Qinghei. What are you doing? Shu Qinghei turned to another topic. Let me see how it took. Shu Qinghei changed the subject again. Look at the photo. How it turned out. I looked at the photo in my phone. It was taken really well. The photo, due to the angle, only showed a side profile of me and Shu Qinghei. The scenery was so romantic it could literally be used as a romance movie poster. The more I looked at it, the more satisfied I got, saying to Shu Qinghei, I'll send the photo to you. Post it publicly on Moments. Doesn't Shi Lingling want to go public? Great, then we'll go public right along with her. Sure. Shu Qinghei smiled, indulging me. She handed her phone to me. Puzzled, I asked, what for? Add me as a friend. We're not friends yet. How can you send it to me? Shu Qinghei said, gritting her teeth. I paused. Turns out the two of us really hadn't added each other yet. Before this, the two of us were arch enemies. So why would I have her contact info? Once the two of us became friends, I sent the photo to her. After finishing, I pushed Shu Qinghei aside and left. Exiting the study, I tried hard to suppress my rapidly pounding heart, returning to the bedroom, sitting down and picking up my phone to post the picture along with the caption, reasonable, legal, legitimate, and right for you. After that, I took a screenshot and sent it to Shu Qinghei post. The exact same thing, got it. Shu Qinghei's post right after that was also updated. I refreshed my Moments feed and immediately saw my post and Shu Qinghei's post sitting right next to each other. In my heart, a strange feeling of satisfaction suddenly surged up. Next, friends raced to hit like and comment. Whoa, what top-tier visuals are these? This flex of affection is great, but next time you're forbidden from flexing. Again? Because I'll be jealous. Ha ha ha! Shout out to reasonable, legal, and legitimate. In love. In love, I realized the comment section under Shu Qinghei's post had a lot of mutual acquaintances. Even though Shu Qinghei and I were mortal enemies, our friend groups overlapped. Does that even make sense? At this point, I also noticed the comment section under Shi Lingling's post was filled entirely with perfunctory congratulations, curiosity, and all kinds of sarcastic insinuations. The fact that Shi Lingling ran away from her wedding was truly unseemly and lacked decorum. Satisfied, I set my phone down to take a shower. Shu Qinghei in the room next door was totally no longer in the mood to work, looking at the blessings from friends and family, smiling sweetly. Yun Zhao sent a private message to Shu Qinghei, i.e. so fast, already legal and legitimate. It's average, not that fast, either. Yun Zhao teased, keep pretending. Tell me, if Ye Chen ever found out that you Shi-Ching-He sent a fist emoji, control that mouth of yours. I want to control it well too, but my mouth sometimes just completely refuses to listen. To my control Shi-Ching-He directly, transferred money to her. Yunjiao received cash instantly, hee. My mouth now seems to listen. To me, Shi-Ching-He get lost alrighty. Shi-Ching-He continued, interacting in the comment section. When someone wished her a happy newlywed life, she replied, "Thanks. Hope you're happy." 2. When someone praised her and Ye Chen's relationship as really good, she hyped them back up. A happy family and all that same to you. A complete family and a successful career. Was Shi-Ching-He's account hacked or something? Shi-Lingling, after seeing Goodbye off, had her phone ringing constantly with ping after ping. She clicked on one of those messages. Quickly go check Ye Chen and Shi-Ching-He's moments. After looking, she got furious. Ye Chen, why is he acting so bitter and snarky? Even posting on moments to mock her and youngest aunt too. Why is she echoing Ye Chen like that? Could it be that Ye Chen and youngest aunt have joined forces and formed an alliance? Together, dad and second uncle have limited capabilities, so grandpa personally groomed me and youngest aunt over the past few years. Youngest aunt and I have pulled all kinds of sneaky schemes against each other. Now if Ye Chen stands on youngest aunt's side, then the entire Yi family will help and elevate her. The situation is extremely unfavorable for me, Shi-Lingling. ID will help support and lift her up. The situation, ID, is extremely disadvantageous for me. Shi-Lingling calmed down. Who on earth came up with such a stupid plan to have Shi-Ching-He marry him instead? It must be Yin Ruanjun. In order to build a backing for Shi-Ching-He, he really resorted to any means possible. Shi-Lingling, snapping back to her senses, sent me a text. Ye Chen, delete that post. I replied, why, on what grounds, if you can post it? Why can't I post it? Shi-Lingling froze for a moment. Ye Chen doing this is deliberately trying to piss me off. He still loves me. Even if I hurt him, he is still infatuated without regret for me. So then can I use Ye Chen now? To deal with youngest aunt Shi-Lingling continued to send me a message. I'm sorry, I didn't know doing that would hurt you and cause you pain. Don't be jealous anymore. I'll go delete my moments post right away. Shi-Lingling set the post to be visible only to Goodbye. Seeing Shi-Lingling's message, I thought she was truly beyond help. What nonsense is she talking about? Haha, me jealous? Who gave her the courage and confidence to think like that? Fish Liang or something? Is there something wrong with her brain? The more I looked, the more disgusted I felt, so I directly blocked Shi-Lingling altogether. Shi-Lingling continued sending a message. To me, alright, I deleted the post. Don't be angry anymore, delete your post too. But as soon as the message was sent, it received a bright red exclamation mark. Your message was sent, but the recipient rejected it. The smug look on Shi-Lingling's face instantly vanished. I was blocked. After blocking Shi-Lingling, the more I thought about it, the angrier I got. No blocking her like this makes it too easy. For her, I have to keep her so she can keep her eyes wide open and watch. How happy I am thinking that I pulled Shi-Lingling out of the blacklist again. Just as I was preparing to type, Shi-Ching-He's jealous voice rang out. Behind me, Ye Chen. Her suddenly speaking up made me jump out of my skin. I turned my head and glared at her. Do you know that scaring people can literally scare someone to death, huh? Shi-Ching-He had been standing behind me for a long time. Already, she had caught the entire conversation between me and Shi-Lingling. In her eyes, Ye Chen, are you feeling reluctant now? Blocking Shi-Lingling, and then unblocking her again, huh? I looked at Shi-Ching-He, who was standing still and secretly muttered under my breath. Annoying creature. I opened the chat box with Shi-Lingling. I advise you to see reality clearly. I won't feel half a bit of jealousy toward you at all. Please don't flatter yourself and say such sickening words anymore. After sending a long, angry rant in my heart, I finally felt much better. Then I blocked her once again. Meanwhile, Shi-Lingling, when she received my message, was extremely smug in her heart. Indeed, the deeper the love, the deeper the hate. Ye Chen really loves me too much, which is why he's so angry. He clearly blocked me, but in the end he still couldn't hold back, and unblocked me. Shi-Lingling, after reading my message, replied back, don't be angry anymore. In the future I won't do that again. But as soon as the message was sent, it received a bright red exclamation mark. Shi-Lingling's anger flared up wildly. Ye Chen, you bastard, so unblocking me was just to scold me, huh? Fine, just you wait. Early in the morning, Shi-Ching-He gently patted me. Ye Chen, wake up. Drowsily hearing it, I didn't bother paying attention to her. Shi-Ching-He looked at me, sleepy-eyed, smiling, and saying, not up yet. If you don't get up, we'll be late. Feeling her gentle breaths, I opened my eyes annoyedly. Shi-Ching-He early in the morning. What the heck are you smiling at, huh? Will you let a person sleep or not? I knew it. Shi Qinghe agreeing to marry me in place of Shi Lingling definitely had bad intentions. She just wanted to stay close to torture me. Shi Qinghe said, "Today, aren't we going back to your family's house?" I froze for a moment. It's true, last night before going to sleep I did mention this matter. Returning to the Ye family residence, as soon as we entered the house, ID toward me definitely has bad intentions. She just wants to be close to torment me. Shi Qinghe said, "Today, ID, aren't we going back to your house?" ID vertical bar. I was stunned for a moment. Right, last night before sleeping I did mention pipe this. Returning to the Ye family house, just stepping inside, I sprawled out on the sofa. Shi Qinghe, carrying a bunch of stuff, stepped into the Ye family house. Shi Qinghe smiled and greeted the Ye family. Grandpa, Grandma, Dad, Mom, Sister. The Ye family also smiled and nodded in reply, receiving the gifts from Shi Qinghe's hands. "Qinghe, take a seat, dear." Shi Qinghe sat down beside me in an elegant manner. My mom, Lin Xuan, laughingly scolded me for having no manners. It all then turned around to look at Shi Qinghe and asked, "Qinghe, are your parents doing well?" Shi Qinghe smiled and nodded her head. "Yes, my parents are both doing well. When I left, my parents even told me to send their regards to everyone." Lin Xuan and my dad, Ye Yuchen, smiled and nodded their heads. "Your parents are far too polite." Everyone kept chatting so lively, like that. Hearing it made me sleepy, so rubbing my eyes, I decisively stood up and said, "I'm going back to my room to sleep for a bit." Lin Xuan said, "Go on then." Lying on the bed before I even had a chance to shut my eyes, Lin Xuan pushed the door open and walked in. "How are you and Shi Qinghe doing now?" I nonchalantly replied, "Not doing anyhow." Lin Xuan asked again, "Then what do you plan to do?" Without needing to think, I immediately replied, "Naturally be a fake married couple for a few years, protect our Yi family's interests, and then wait for the right moment to get divorced, of course." Lin Xuan, half believing and half doubting, said, "Go to sleep." Yell. Yuchen called Shi Qinghe and Ye Jiajia into the study directly, asking, "Qinghe, what do you think?" Shi Qinghe looked at her father-in-law in front of her and said seriously, "Dad, second sister, please rest assured. I will treat Ye Chen well." Ye Yuchen and Ye Jiajia both sized up Shi Qinghe for a long while. Afterwards, Ye Yuchen smiled with these words, "From you then, Dad can rest assured. Qinghe, previously, we spoiled Ye Chen a bit too much, so his personality is a bit impulsive. In the future, please be tolerant toward him a little." Shi Qinghe smiled and said, "Being impulsive is also very good." Before finishing the meal, Shi Qinghe had business to attend to at the company. I decided to go out for a walk. Arriving at the shopping mall, I directly pushed the car door open and got out. Shi Qinghe asked, "When should I come pick you up?" I turned my back and waved my hand, "No need." As soon as I stepped into the shopping mall, I immediately ran into Zhao Duju, the guy who was always at odds with me. Truly unlucky stepping out on the street and immediately meeting that annoying guy. Just as I was thinking whether I should go home or not, Zhao Duju came over smilingly to greet me. "Hey, Ye Chen, what a coincidence." I looked at him and said, "Stop smiling. When you smile, you look hideous." Zhao Duju let out a cold laugh. "Just because you're in a bad mood, you can't vent your anger on me. After all, it wasn't me who told Shi Lingling to run away from the wedding. Did you not brush your teeth before coming out today?" Frowning, I looked at Zhao Duju and said, "Zhao." Duju angrily glared at me. I smiled radiantly back at him. "What about me? I'm just truly caring about you, that's all." Don't be ungrateful. Besides, Shi Lingling, running away from the wedding isn't a big deal either, right? Now, on the contrary, I should actually thank Shi Lingling if not for her running away. Could I have married Shi Qinghe? Who told you to mess with me? See if I don't piss you to death. Who doesn't know that you like Shi Qinghe? Zhao Duju fiercely glared at me. "This bastard," I continued, adding fuel to the fire. "Oh, forgot to tell you just now, it was my wife who brought me here. She even gave her credit card to me, telling me to buy more stuff I like. She even said she'd come pick me up later, for dinner too." Zhao Duzu knitted his brows, stunned for a moment, then calming down. "It's a bit, you're talking absolute nonsense. Shi Qinghe is such a cold woman. How could she do something like this? Besides, before this, she hated Ye Chen so much. Marrying Ye Chen was definitely forced." I smiled and said, "You don't believe it. If you don't believe it, then you just stay here and wait to see if she comes or not." Zhao Duju nodded. His head gritted his teeth and said, "Fine, I'll wait." Smiling, I stepped into a luxury store. I nodded, grit my teeth, and said, "Fine, I'll wait." I smiled and walked into a luxury goods store. sent a text to Shu Ching-hei. At 5 o'clock, come pick me up. Shu Ching-hei chuckled and replied, "Didn't you just say you didn't need me to come pick you up?" I pouted. "Just now was just now right. Now is right now," Shu Ching-hei replied. "All right." Strolled around for a bit and realized it was already 4:50. Zhao Duzhu, who knows if he's still waiting there or not, with his simping dedication. For Shu Ching-hei, he'd probably choose to wait for over 3 hours, right? Reached the first floor. Zhao Duzhu was sitting at the entrance of a coffee shop playing on his phone. He opened the chat window with Shu Ching-hei. The message he sent to Shu Ching-hei yesterday still had no response. Shu Ching-hei, why? Did you marry Ye Chen? Why? Did you post that kind of picture? On your moments. On Zhao Duzhu's face, a bitter smile showed up. If Shu Ching-hei comes to pick up Ye Chen later, then I'll directly ask her about the doubts in my heart. If Shu Ching-hei doesn't come to pick him up, then I don't need to ask anymore. Shu Ching-hei's attitude will have said it all. Right. Now Zhao Duzhu saw me getting ready to leave. In his eyes, there was a look of smugness and provocation. Didn't you say Ching-hei was coming to pick you up? Why hasn't she arrived yet, huh? Tell me, what kind of wife is Ching-hei anyway? Tell me, is she not free, or does she just not care about you at all? I looked at Shu Ching-hei walking towards me, slightly curling the corners of my lips. What right do you have to judge me, Zhao? Duzhu heard the movement and froze in shock. Shi Ching-hei, she really came to pick up Ye Chen. Why? I glanced at Zhao. Duzhu's solemn, ugly face reached out my hand towards Shu Ching-hei. Wifey, let's go. Didn't you say you booked a table at the restaurant tonight? Shu Ching-hei very naturally placed her hand in my palm, smiling. Let's go. The two of us finished eating and returned home, almost bumping into Shi Nam-nam, who was about to go out. Brother Ye Chen. Ignoring the little girl, I walked straight into the house. Shi Nam-nam stood there feeling a bit awkward. Shu Ching-hei used a cold gaze to look at the little girl. Shi Nam-nam timidly greeted youngest aunt. Who did I provoke or mess with? If Brother Ye Chen ignores me, then whatever. But why is youngest aunt's gaze so terrifying? At school, didn't teachers teach you to be polite to elders? Shu Ching-hei stared intensely at Shi Nam-nam and asked, what did you just call him, huh? Oh no, before this, calling him Brother Ye Chen was a habit. Youngest uncle Shi Nam-nam suddenly realized, Shi Nam-nam, behave yourself. Next time you call him by the wrong name, again, see if I don't spank you. Is today just a bad day? To step outside or what? First getting ignored by Brother Ye Chen, then getting lectured by youngest aunt. No, it's youngest uncle. Next time I can't call him wrong. Again, whatever, forget it. I'd better just stay at home and play games instead. Early in the morning, my biological clock woke me up. Right on time, feeling Shu Ching-hei leaning on me, I disgustedly pushed her away. Standing up, looking down from above at Shu Ching-hei, who had just woken up. Your sleeping position is seriously way too terrible. Shu Ching-hei slightly curled her lips. A few days ago you didn't complain about my sleeping position being terrible. Why are you nitpicking so much today? I gritted my teeth and glared at her. First thing in the morning, what kind of nonsense are you talking about, huh? When going downstairs to eat breakfast, Shi Lingling and Shi Nam-nam were both present. Annoyed, I scratched my head in frustration. Living at the Shi family residence was truly way too painful. First thing in the morning, having to see these annoying people, I literally couldn't swallow my food. It ruined my mood for the whole day. Shu Ching-hei sat down beside me. Good morning, youngest aunt. Good morning, youngest uncle. Shu Ching-hei satisfiedly gave Shi Nam-nam a glance, quite an eager learner. Shu Ching-hei looked at Shi Lingling. What's wrong? Don't know how to greet people. Shi Lingling couldn't bring herself to open her mouth. Shu Ching-hei coldly said, looks like having you teach proper manners to goodbye won't work out. After all, since you yourself don't have any manners, how can you? How can you teach anyone? Shi Lingling pissedly stormed off. The most annoying person was gone, so I finally got some appetite. Finishing the meal, Shu Ching-hei along the way dropped me off at this company. Only then did she head to the Shi family group. Shu Ching-hei is currently the general manager of the company's project department. The assistant and secretary followed her into the office to report work. Shu Ching-hei spoke to assistant Guang Wanwan, go outside and buy a thing for me. Guang Wanwan asked, President Shu buy what? Shu Ching-hei coldly replied, buy a sticker that says hubby's exclusive seat to stick on my car's passenger seat. Guang Wanwan, although in her heart puzzled, still respectfully replied, yes, President Xi. Ah, right, buy a few more I want to. Stick them on all of my cars. Why? Does it feel like President Xi is carrying a hint of smugness and pride, huh? She's changed before. This Xi wasn't like this. Clearly, every time Ye Chen was mentioned, she would express grit teeth and hatred. This matter truly is way too terrifying. Guang Wanwan stepping out from the office asked Secretary Yang Liu, Yang Liu, let me ask you a question. Yang Liu signaled for her to continue speaking. Go ahead. Right now, are there still people who know how to cast voodoo spells? I suspect President Xi was cursed by someone with voodoo. In just a short period of 2 or 3 days, President Xi's attitude toward Ye Chen has done a complete 180-degree flip. It's really hard to use science to explain it. Yang Liu blurted out in confusion. Huh. Guang Wanwan hurriedly waved her hands. Ah, nothing, I'm going to work. While I was working, I received a phone call from the housekeeper, young Master Yi. No need to decline tonight's dinner party anymore. The old master wants to hold a family meeting. Right after stepping out of the company, I already saw Shi Qinghei's car parked on the side of the road. Since when did she get so thoughtful as to offer a full package pickup and drop-off service like this? Sitting in the car, Shi Qinghei waved her hand at me. I opened the car door and sat in, immediately getting shocked by the hubby's exclusive seat sticker. Does her head have a problem or something? Doing this kind of trick for what? Shi Qinghei saw that as soon as I got in the car, I was staring intently at the sticker, her face showing a few hints of pride. Returning home after getting off the car, I immediately said to Shi Qinghei, next time, don't drive this car anymore. Shi Qinghei curiously asked, why? I glared at her, why? Don't you know in your heart? I threw back a single word, ugly, then turned my back and walked away. Shi Qinghei stood in place assessing, ugly? This car is pitch black. Compared to hubby's red Ferrari, it really is a bit ugly. At the Shi family residence, everyone was sitting punctually in the family meeting room. Shi Jianguo looked around at everyone. Opening his mouth, he instantly dropped a bombshell. I'm preparing to step back to the sidelines, right? Now I'm getting old, my energy can't keep up anymore. I've strived and worked hard for the Shi family group my whole life. It's also time I rest. Shi Tiaonian and Shi Qiaotuan, the two brothers, competed to flatter and hype up their dad. Dad, you're still young, Dad? We all know your contributions to the Shi family group. The Shi family group cannot go on without you. I glanced at old man Shi. The old man is about to retire, so he definitely has to pick a successor. Is it Shi Qinghei or is it Shi Lingling? Old man Shi will probably pick Shi Qinghei. Right? Wait, no, the successor that the old man actually favors is definitely Shi Qinghei on the surface. It might seem like he treats Shi Qinghei and Shi Lingling equally, but as I see it, Shi Lingling is just being used as a whetstone to sharpen Shi Qinghei. Everyone was nervously and anxiously waiting, turning their eyes toward Shi Jianguo. He swept his gaze over everyone in the Shi family indifferently. Finally, his gaze landed on Shi Lingling's face. Shi Lingling was overjoyed, beyond belief in her heart. Grandpa picked me, huh? I definitely won't fail Grandpa's expectations. I will work hard to lead the group. ID eyes landed on Shi Lingling's face. Shi Lingling was overjoyed in her heart. Grandpa picked me, I definitely won't fail Grandpa's expectations. And will strive to lead the group to a whole new level. Qinghei, later on the Shi family group will be handed over to you. Tomorrow, I will hold a board of directors meeting to appoint you as vice chairman of the Shi family group and will also go through the procedures for share transfers. Shi Qinghei looked at Shi Jianguo, solemnly saying, Dad, rest assured I will work hard. 2009. On Shi Jianguo's face. On Shi Jianguo's face, a smile finally bloomed. Dad trusts you. The eldest son's family and the rest of the Shi family only at this moment snapped back to reality after the shock. Dad, Grandpa, Shi Jianguo looked over. Do you guys have any objections? Dad, why? Is it Qinghei Lingling? From our family is also very outstanding. Dad, clearly Lingling is more outstanding than Qinghei. Dad can't, just because of bias toward Shi Qinghei, hand the company over to her. What do you have to prove that Shi Lingling is more outstanding than Qinghei? Does this matter? Even need proving my Lingling. Isn't she always more outstanding than Shi Qinghei? She's merely just a bit prettier than my Lingling back in school days. Shi Qinghei skipped grades, continuously completing her studies, one step ahead of Shi Lingling. Both of them entered the company at the same time, both starting from the lowest positions. Right now, Shi Qinghe is a general manager, while Shai Lingling is just a department head who has more capability. Don't tell me you guys can't see it. Isn't that just because Lingling entered the company later than Shi Qinghe? So Shi Qinghe seized the upper hand first. Shi Lingling agreed and nodded her head. Shi Jiangguo called the housekeeper. The housekeeper brought over the document prepared in advance, distributing it to everyone in the Shi family. This is the performance track record of Shi Qinghe and Shi Lingling. After joining the company, the projects each person successfully negotiated, along with the profits they brought to the group. Everyone take a good look. The document was simple and clear, its content easy to understand at a glance. Before this, I always thought Shi Lingling wasn't that much worse than Shi Qinghe, but now looking at this statistical chart, it really is a slap directly to the face. Lingling over these past few years at the company actually caused such a huge financial deficit. Shi Lingling, regarding this statistical chart, if you have any doubts whatsoever, you can ask. Under the intense stares of everyone, Shi Lingling's face turned extremely ugly. Shi Jiangguo looked at the eldest son's family and asked, "Do you guys have any more doubts?" Yue Guo tried to defend Shi Lingling. Dad Lingling is still young. Say no more in business suffering. Losses is a very normal thing, Shi Jiangguo said indifferently. Qinghe and Lingling are the same age. Only Shi Lingling is still young while Shi Qinghe isn't young, huh? Yue Guo wasn't convinced in her heart, but she had no logic to argue back either. In business suffering, losses is normal, so I don't blame her for her incompetence over these years. But clearly Qinghe is much more suitable than her to take control of the group. And another thing, the board of directors has openly expressed their dissatisfaction toward Shi Lingling starting. Tomorrow you will be transferred to the branch in Xicheng. Getting banished to a branch meant that she had been pushed out of the core power center of the group. In the future, the Shi family group will be completely controlled by Shi Qinghe. Then I truly don't have a single bit of a chance left anymore. Yue Guo anxiously asked, "Why is the board of directors dissatisfied with Lingling?" "Because she ran away from the wedding," Shi Jiangguo coldly said. "The company doesn't need someone who doesn't know how to keep a promise." Meeting adjourned. Just as Shi Jiangguo was about to step out of the meeting room, Shi Lingling suddenly stood right up. "Grandpa, I don't think I did anything wrong. I love Dubai. I want to marry Dubai. Life is still very long. I can't spend it living with a man I don't love for the rest of my life." Shi Jiangguo turned his head back to look at Shi Lingling. "What you said is right, which is why I fulfilled things for you and Dubai. No one forced you to leave him, but with gains come losses. Now you ID her, but gain comes with loss. Now you are destined to have to lose some things." Shi Lingling looked in daze at Shi Jiangguo's retreating back. She actually thought that she could have her cake and eat it too. I almost snorted out loud. "Shi Lingling, congratulations to you. Congrats on achieving your wish. Oh right, when are you and your boyfriend planning to get married?" "Hehe, I'm getting a bit eager to drink wedding wine from you and Mr. Gu already." "Ye Chen," Shi Qinghe interrupted my words. Call her youngest aunt as youngest aunt Shi Lingling, and Shi Qinghe locked eyes. In the end, she was still the defeated party, walking straight out of the meeting room. Shi Qinghe looked at Shi Tiaonian and said, "Big brother Shi Lingling really needs to be properly taught her manners." Shi Tiaonian let out a cold snort. "Humph." Returning to the room, I immediately sat down on the sofa, opening the group chat of the Ye family. Shi Qinghe won this round, regardless of how the relationship between me and Shi Qinghe is. From the day of marriage, the two of us are already husband and wife, sharing the benefits and risks together. Shi Qinghe as a daughter-in-law of the Yi family. Her being able to rise up currently brings back a lot of benefits for the Ye family. In the group chat, loving family, Ye Jia, little brother, you are seriously way too awesome. Only married for a few days and you've already helped my sister-in-law defeat Shi Lingling and successfully take the throne. See, back then I didn't lie to you, right? Right now, seeing Shi Lingling fail in your heart, isn't it? Extremely satisfying. I'm just so normal, just a tiny bit satisfied. We're all family. If you don't put on acts, will you die? Oh, right, little brother, you have to keep pushing forward. Work together with Shi Qinghe to pop out 8 or 10 kids and piss Shi Lingling to death already. Hearing the sound of footsteps, I raised my head up. Seeing Shi Qinghe, I immediately asked, "Is it true that your dad always planned for you to inherit the family business?" Has Shi Lingling never even been within his scope of consideration? Shi Qinghe pursed Her lips, I relied on strength. To win, disdainfully, I replied. Is that so? Do you feel very lucky? I looked at Shu Qinghei. Lucky about what? Naturally. Lucky to get married. To me, of course. I gave Shu Qinghei a side eye. You're overthinking it. If Shi Lingling hadn't run away from the wedding, she and I would have married smoothly. Shi Lingling's reputation wouldn't have been ruined. Your dad wouldn't have stepped back to the sidelines so fast. And you and Shi Lingling would still have to fight it out endlessly. What if we won? Annoying creature Ye Chen are on the same team. She and Shi Lingling. She and I are we, while she and Shi Lingling no longer have any relationship. Secretly, I felt baffled. What's wrong with her again? Just a moment ago it was sunny and bright. Now it's suddenly pouring rain. Flipping faces so fast. At this moment, the eldest son's family of the Shi family was gathering together. Shitionian pondered and then said to Shi Lingling, don't get discouraged just yet. There's still a chance. Currently, it seems like Shi Qinghei has won, but we still have to see. Tomorrow, how many shares your grandpa will transfer to her? According to my understanding of your grandpa, he probably won't give Shi Qinghei too much. Shi Lingling instantly understood her father's meaning. Shitionian looked at her kindly, advising, your grandpa doing this is punishing you, Lingling. You were really way too willful. Even if you didn't like Ye Chen, you still shouldn't have run away from the wedding. Your running away from the wedding was throwing away the face and interests of the Shi family. This action of yours crossed your grandpa's ultimate bottom line. Dad, before this I never even thought about running away from the wedding. It was goodbye. I really don't understand what's so good about that goodbye guy. At least Ye Chen's family background could help you out a bit. But what can goodbye help? You with Lingling, listen to mom's advice. Break. What did you get for my child? Lingling, listen to my advice. Divide. Up with goodbye, we'll find someone else. Mom, in this lifetime, I won't love any other. And you want to piss mom to death, don't you? If not for that, man, would you have lost to Shi Qinghei, huh? Look at how smug Shi Qinghei and Ye Chen are right now. Mom is telling you, right? Now isn't even the worst part. Yet wait until your grandpa passes. Wei and Shi Qinghei holds complete power. When that time comes, will the Sha family still have a place for us to stay? All right, that's enough. Stop talking. Shitionian glanced at Yueguo, saying to Shi Lingling, can you really not live without goodbye? Shi Lingling nodded, her head yes. Shitionian rubbed his forehead. Then work hard to bear goodbye, child, to coax your grandpa and make him happy. That way we'll still have a chance to fight back against Shi Qinghei. Yes, Dad, I know. The next day, when getting ready to go out, I deliberately teased Shi Lingling, eldest niece. Still taking your sweet time. Eating breakfast, huh? You've been transferred to the branch in Xicheng now. Driving there takes over an hour and a half. Hurry up and set off already. Shi Lingling viciously glared at me. Why are you looking at me with those eyes? I'm just trying to be good to you, that's all. After all, being late on your first day of work isn't very nice, is it? Who knows, people might misinterpret it as you being dissatisfied with Grandpa's decision and using actions to protest. My husband sure knows how to talk. I looked at Yue Guo, who had a look of dissatisfaction on her face, and said, Sister-in-law, actually Shi Lingling previously wasn't like this at all. Right? Now she's become like this. Tell me, do you think she's been corrupted by someone? Yue Guo froze for a moment. Goodbye. Mom, no one corrupted me. Mom, don't listen to the instigations of Ye Chen Chou. Squinting my eyes with a smile, I walked away. Shi Qinghei still stubbornly insisted on taking me. I asked guardedly, You're not driving yesterday's car again, right? Qinghei shook her head. No, you complained it was ugly. Today, we'll take another car. I opened the passenger door and sat in. Right after that, I immediately saw the sticker saying, reserved, for handsome guy stuck right in front of me. I instantly wanted to open the car door and flee outside, but the car had already started. Don't you think sticking things like this on the car looks super ugly? Not at all. I think it looks quite nice. Where's it nice? Huh. I tried hard to persuade her. You carry the title of general manager. Don't you feel like this thing completely doesn't fit your style at all? Shi Qinghei gently shook her head. Not at all. If business partners or friends see it, it won't look good. Why? They'll think you're a woman obsessed with petty romantic feelings, and from there they might doubt your working ability. My business partners and my friends are not superficial people like that. Through this action of mine, they will only realize I'm a family-oriented woman with a sense of responsibility. Peel it off. If people who don't know the truth see this thing, they will definitely misunderstand that I forced Shi Qinghei to stick it on. I still need my pride, you know. What's wrong? You don't like it? I nodded. Yeah, don't like it? Chingy chuckled softly. Even if you don't like it, I'm not peeling it off. My face turned dark. Fine if you won't peel it off, whatever. At most in the future, I just won't ride in your car anymore. Today, the Shi family group held a board of directors meeting. Xu Jiangguo transferred 10% of shares to Shi Qinghe. Combined with her existing 8% of shares currently, she holds a total of 18% of shares. Aside from Xu Jiangguo, she is the person who holds the most shares in the family. The official account of the Shi family group posted this good news on social media platforms. With the spreading of ID, she holds a total of 18% ID of the shares. Other than Shi ID vertical bar Jiangguo, she is the person holding ID the most shares in the family. ID. The official account of the Shi family group. ID posted this good news on social media platforms. With the spread of everyone in the circle, Shi Qinghe actually became famous. The pictures of Shi Qinghe were also spreading at crazy speed on social media. Wow, this stunning beauty who gave you guys permission to randomly share pictures of my wife like that. I warn, you guys quickly take them down. If not, I'll have my wife punish you guys. Thank you, everyone, for loving my wife. Thanks to the enthusiastic support of netizens, the social media account of the Shi family group in just a few short hours gained an extra 100,000 followers. Meanwhile, the personal account of Shi Qinghe was even more shocking, gaining millions of new followers. Shi Qinghe called to direct the PR department, conveying a series of orders, and good news quickly flew in. Thanks to this viral event, a lot of products of the Shi family group sold out, and the stock of the Shi family group suddenly surged through the roof. The board of directors and Shi Jiangguo both felt extremely satisfied as the director of the public relations department. I'm very sensitive to how the increase in brand awareness of the Shi family group happened so fast. I know with Shi Qinghe's visual, becoming famous would be super easy, but for it to be like this is way too viral. Isn't it indeed? Shi Qinghe is super pretty, but it shouldn't be to the point of driving people this crazy, right? I've checked through the comments under the hashtag about Shi Qinghe. Wifey, marry me. Wifey, I love you. Shi Qinghe and the Shi family group are truly lucky just because of one photo. They blew up like crazy, timely leveraging the power of media. The PR department of the Shi family group is stepping in. Shi Qinghe can at least ride this clout for a few more months. The clout during these months is pure cold hard cash. For real, so jealous. Just as I got off work and stepped out of the company, awesome. I saw Shi Qinghe's car. Again, wait, that's not right today. Doesn't she have to work overtime? I walked over and sat in the passenger seat. Tonight, attend a party with me, Shi Qinghe directly said to me. I looked at her with a puzzled expression. Shi Qinghe continued, my friends are throwing a party for me to celebrate my promotion. Shi Qinghe's friends, although I knew of them, we weren't very close. I'm not going. I flatly refused. Shi Qinghe seemed to have already predicted my response, saying with a mysterious look, you have a mission. What mission? Shi Qinghe slightly curled the corner of her lips. I cooperated with you to play a couple scene in front of Zhao Duzhu. Don't you think you should also cooperate with me a bit? If you're not present at an important event like this, what will outsiders think? I felt speechless. I knew it, being a contractual couple isn't easy at all. The celebration party was held at a Chinese restaurant. When Shi Qinghe and I arrived, everyone was already present, all curiously staring at me with excited looks, wanting to get the tea. Before this, why didn't I realize these two, when next to each other, make such a good match? Only Yun Zhao carried a smug look, as if she had seen through everything. Only I know King He's little secret. Everyone else is drunk, I alone am sober. After Shi Qinghe greeted everyone, she led me over to the empty seats to sit down. Zhou Hubai, sitting nearby, actively pulled out a chair for Shi Qinghe. Qinghe, hurry, sit down, I missed you. Looking at Zhou Hubai, this man was seriously so impatient. Honestly, I was quite grateful to Shi Qinghe. After all, she stepped up to marry me, helping save face for me and the Ye family. I thought I could just turn a blind eye and ignore the matter about her and Zhou Hubai, but right now I don't want to back down anymore. Zhou Hubai truly doesn't respect me at all. So taking advantage of the situation, I sat right down, domineeringly taking the seat that Zhou Hubai had pulled out for Shi Qinghe. Thanks. His radiant smile stiffened for a second, but right after that it returned to normal. The fact that Zhou Hubai liked his beaming smile froze for a moment, but right after that returned to normal. The thing Zhou Hubai likes Shi-Ching-he was no secret in the circle, so the crowd instantly sparked with a feverish passion to gossip. Shi-Ching-he sat down beside me, and everyone immediately looked disappointed. Ching-he, I'm sorry. On the day of the wedding, I didn't mean to be absent. I was filming, out of town. Besides, I also didn't expect Shi-Ling-Ling would run away from the wedding and that you would step in to help, Chen. This was not helping. Shi-Ching-he indifferently glanced at Zhou Hubai. Zhou Hubai was clearly stunned, but Shi-Ching-he didn't say anything, else using utensils to put food into my bowl. What is she doing? Hasn't Shi-Ching-he always disliked Ye Chen? Now, not only is she married to me, but she's also so attentive and intimate. I gently looked at Shi-Ching-he. Thank you, wifey. Shi-Ching-he kept picking up food for me while I continuously praised her. Wifey, this dish is so delicious, you should try some. 2. What is Shi-Ching-he's intentions here? Last time I used her to piss off Zhao Duzhu. Now is she using me to piss off Zhou Hubai? Could it be they have friction between them? Don't tell me. It's because she married me in place of Shi-Ling-Ling that Zhou Hubai pouted at her, which then made Shi-Ching-he angry. I get it now. I'm just a pawn, stuck right in the middle of Shi-Ching-he and Zhou Hubai. Right now, Zhou Hubai is like a little puppy abandoned by his owner, while Shi-Ching-he just focuses on eating by herself. What a cold-hearted woman. Zhou Hubai is completely different from those other guys. Those other guys are just simp fanboys. It's cool if they have her, but whatever if they don't. As for Zhou Hubai, no, she likes Zhou Hubai treating him like this. Is it really okay? But if Zhou Hubai knew about the situation between me and Shi-Ching-he right now, it would probably break his heart completely. Zhou Hubai looked at our intimate interactions, wanting to find a reason to leave, yet he couldn't bear to. Before this, everyone thought Shi-Ching-he and I were a couple, because I was the only person of the opposite sex who had a relatively good relationship with Shi-Ching-he. But in reality, it wasn't like that at all. Our relationship was more like friends, completely not romantic, love at all. It was all just him being overly sentimental on his own. After finishing dinner, nothing noteworthy happened. Before this, how could I not realize Zhou Hubai's endurance was actually this strong? If it were me, I would have flipped the table and walked away long ago. I'm truly ashamed at how incapable I am. In the end, everyone decided to go to an entertainment club to hang out. I chose to play mahjong. Zhou Hubai closely followed right behind. I looked at him with a half smile. Mr. Zhou, you want to play with me, really? Seems like he's still bitter inside and now wants to crush my spirit at the mahjong table. Usually I often go out to entertain clients, so I'm very proficient in mahjong, billiards, and golf. I'm especially good at playing mahjong when it comes to tile counting, which is vast and deep. Zhou Hubai looked at me and nodded. I know yet. Chen is very good at mahjong. This isn't a secret in the circle. But I'm not convinced. What if it's just luck, even if I lose? So what? It's not like I'm someone who can't handle defeat. I slightly curled my lips, saying nothing more. Zhou Hubai probably thinks that being unlucky in love means he'll get lucky at cards. Huh. Then I'll just have to satisfy his wish? But bullying Zhou Hubai like this seems a bit too harsh, doesn't it? I took out my phone and texted Shi-Ching-he. After all, he's the one in Shi-Ching-he's heart. What if Shi-Ching-he feels bad for him? Should I go easy on Zhou Hubai? Going easy on others is being cruel to yourself. What's wrong? Are you planning to be cruel to yourself now? I'm just thinking for your sake, that's all, hey. Frowning, I put down my phone. Yunjiao smiled and said, Ye Chen, I've long heard that your card-playing skills are outstanding. Today, I do. What's up? Now you plan to be cruel to yourself? Huh? I was just thinking of you, that's all. Tee-hee. I knitted my brows. Put down the phone. Yunjiao smiled and said, Ye Chen, I've long heard your card-playing skills are outstanding today. Today you have to go easy on me, okay? At the mahjong table there are only 4 people. If I go easy on you, then wouldn't that make things hard for Zhou Hubai and Li Ti too? You just need to not make things hard for me, that's enough. As for the others, I don't care, Yunjiao said with a smile. At first I was quite holding back, but Zhou Hubai's face looked super ugly because since earlier, he had lost the most. Zhou Hubai's hand was truly terrible, but it seemed he wasn't in the mood to play cards either. Keeping on losing, he would only get more frustrated. Losing your cool at the card table is an absolute taboo. Right when Zhou Hubai was hesitating, not knowing which tile to discard, the door to room 3 was pushed open. Zhou Hubai turned his head back and saw Shi-Ching-he feeling overjoyed inside. Ching-he, help me take a look at these 2 tiles. Which tile should I play? Watching a card game without speaking is being a true gentleman, Shi-Ching-he gave him a glance. Hearing that Joe Hubai felt even more uncomfortable inside. Just help him out, Mr. Joe has been hesitating over this tile for a really long time. Already. Shi-Ching-hei glared at me without saying anything. Standing behind Joe Hubai, she started calculating the tiles. Joe Hubai's mood was super complex. I asked Ching-hei to help me look, and Ching-hei immediately said, "Watching cards without talking makes a gentleman." But when Chen told her to help, she actually helped. Why does she listen to Ye Chen like that? Play the one, bamboo. Joe Hubai, without the slightest hesitation, discarded the one bamboo tile. I smiled, revealing the one bamboo tile in my hand. Pure one suit win hit the big jackpot. I looked at Shi-Ching-hei with a meaningful gaze. Wifey, great job. Ching-hei is so good at mahjong. But why couldn't you calculate that Ye Chen was waiting for the one bamboo tile? Or did Ching-hei already know Ye Chen needed the one bamboo tile? Li Titu and Yun Zhao looked at Shi-Ching-hei with teasing eyes. Shi-Ching-hei nonchalantly explained, "It had nothing to do with me, okay? I didn't know he was waiting for one bamboo. I thought he was waiting for the 3 dots tile." "Who are you trying to fool?" Yun Zhao's eyes turned red. But Joe Hubai actually believed it. In the next second, he saw Shi-Ching-hei find a small chair to sit down right next to me, that obedient look making Joe Hubai's eyes turn red with envy. Ching-hei has been bewitched by Ye Chen. From then on, Joe Hubai played with worse and worse form, finally unable to hold on anymore. I still have some stuff to do, so I'll head out first. You guys enjoy playing Shi? Ching-hei smiled brightly, looking at me. Hubby, am I awesome or what? I gave her a side eye. Did you even put in any effort? How did I not put in effort? Shi-Ching-hei raised her eyebrows and said, "First, the moment I walked in, I told Joe Hubai to play the one bamboo tile for you. Second, after that, I sat next to you to disrupt the enemy's mind. I actually thought what she said made a lot of sense. Ching-hei is truly the top MVP here. Truly a fatal distraction." Shi-Ching-hei calmly looked at the other two. "What are you looking at, huh? Are you jealous because I have a husband?" After saying that, she smugly stepped outside. Li Titu and Yun Zhao looked at each other in confusion. So what on earth is she being smug about? Smug because she has a husband? In the future, don't tell people I know her. Me and Shi-Ching-hei arrived back home. Originally, Joe Hubai and Shi-Ching-hei, the two of them, were doing totally fine, but because Shi Lingling ran away from the wedding, Shi-Ching-hei was forced to get married, leading to conflict arising between them. Clearly, it was Shi Lingling's fault. Yet the three of us were forced to face this awkward situation. Shi-Ching-hei, what's going on with you and Joe Hubai? Did you guys get into a fight? Shi-Ching-hei had long since noticed that I had a heavy heart. I have nothing to fight with him for. Shi-Ching-hei, today, from the dinner table to the mahjong table wasn't everything you did to provoke Joe Hubai. Either way, in the future, you should be a bit careful, Shi-Ching-hei asked in confusion. Careful about what? I glared. Careful about the stuff between you and Joe Hubai, of course, as long as the two of you don't go too overboard or be too flashy. I'll just act like I didn't see anything. I'll pretend I didn't see it. Shi-Ching-hei looked at me and cold snorted. You're pretty generous, huh? Frowning, I looked at Shi-Ching-hei. Shi-Ching-hei, I'm telling you, don't mess with me. Shi-Ching-hei smirked and asked, and what if I mess with you? I sneered, if you piss me off, I'll go warn Joe Hubai to stay a bit further away from my wife. Otherwise, I'll mess him up. Shi-Ching-hei looked at me, and just when I thought she would get angry, she burst out laughing. How are you planning to mess him up? I glared at her. Don't you worry when the time comes. It's not like I lack ways to deal with him anyway. Then go deal with him right now. Today he really crossed the line. How was he crossing the line today? Today he dared to order me to help him play cards. Under what status does he think he can order me around? Isn't this just openly provoking you? I mess people up based on facts right now. Talking big here sounds nice, but when I actually go deal with him, you'll be more nervous than anyone. Shi-Ching-hei nodded. That's right, what if you don't know how to hold back? We just got married. I don't want to get a reputation for husband killing, you know. Remember to watch your boundary. If Joe Hubai heard these words, he'd probably faint from crying. What does it have to do with me? I always thought Shi-Ching-hei and Joe Hubai were a couple, not just me. Everyone in the circle thought so too. But now, it seems like that's not the case at all. It feels like she doesn't respect Joe Hubai at all. Could it be that I misunderstood? Curiously, I asked, aren't you and Joe Hubai lovers? Shi-Ching-hei widened her eyes and asked back, since when were the two of us lovers? In turn, I was shocked. You two have never dated? Shi-Ching-hei looked at me with a hurt expression. In your heart, am I that kind of irresponsible woman? Shi-Ching-hei sneered cold-heartedly. You're basically not worthy of being my mortal enemy. People say the one who understands you most is your enemy, but yay. Chen, you don't understand me at all. You're not worthy of being my enemy. You're only worthy of being my husband. The next morning, I was woken up by my phone. Closing my eyes, I groped around for the phone. On the other end of the line, Zhou Zhikang asked, Yi, Chen, you're still not up yet. In days, Zhou Zhikang understands me. Ye Chen is a disciplined man. Why isn't he up at this hour yet? Was last night exhausting, Zhou Zhikang implied suggestively. I murmured a groggy, actually not having heard clearly what Zhou Zhikang was saying at all. The relationship between Ye Chen and Shi Qinghe is progressing insanely fast. In the end are the two of them, playing out a marriage first, love later trope, or a close proximity sparks feelings over time trope. Heh. What's wrong? What's the matter early in the morning? Ye Chen, something happened. The thing about you and Shi Qinghe getting married along with Shi Lingling's scandal have all been exposed. Hearing that, I suddenly snapped awake, opening my eyes wide, this time completely sober. I got it, I'll go check it out. As expected on the trending search, I already saw the names of Ye Chen, Shi Qinghe, and Shi Lingling. Ordinary people are naturally full of curiosity and longing toward the wealthy elite, let alone a story of a niece running away from her wedding and the aunt replacing her, a dog-blood drama trope that usually only exists on TV. Just as I clicked, in a watch, I discovered it was a blogger, posting a video breakdown, a so-called breakdown, analyzing things super convincingly. The comment section was even more chaotic reading. Few comments I understood right away. All of these things were targeted at me, aiming to smear the Yi Corporation high. Chance its competitors playing dirty tricks. But the Shi family couldn't avoid getting dragged into it either. In my heart, I wasn't panicked at all. Yesterday, Shi Qinghe went viral out of nowhere, so naturally the aftermath would bring along some trouble. It's just that I didn't expect this trouble to come so fast. I got it, I'll go check it out. As expected on the trending search, I already saw the names of Ye Chen, Shi Qinghe, and Shi Lingling. Ordinary people are naturally full of curiosity and longing toward the wealthy elite, let alone a story of a niece running away from her wedding and the youngest aunt replacing her to marry. ID. Following after, there will be some trouble. ID, it's just I didn't expect this trouble to come. I got it, I'll go check. ID. Sure enough, on HX, I saw the names of Ye, ID Chen, Shi Qinghe, Shi Lingling. Regular. ID people are naturally full of curiosity and craving. ID toward the wealthy. ID families, let alone the drama of a niece calling off a wedding and the youngest aunt marrying. A dog-blood drama trope that usually only exists on TV. Just as I clicked into watch, I discovered it was a blogger, posting a video, breakdown, a so-called breakdown, analyzing things super convincingly. The comment section was even more chaotic. Reading. A few comments I understood right away. All of these things were targeted at me, aiming to smear the Ye Corporation high. Chance its competitors playing dirty tricks, but the Shi family couldn't avoid getting dragged into it either. In my heart, I wasn't panicked at all. Yesterday, Shi Qinghe went insanely viral, so naturally the aftermath would bring along some trouble. It's just that I didn't expect this trouble to come so fast. I directed my subordinates in the work group to help remove the hot search, then reached out to familiar partners to carry out an investigation. After finishing these tasks, looking at Shi Qinghe still sleeping soundly beside me unexpectedly online, things were making such a huge fuss, yet the people of the Shi family group still haven't received the news, or what? How come I don't see anyone notifying Shi Qinghe wake up? Actually, when I was listening to the phone, she was already awake, and now, taking advantage of the moment, opened her eyes. I handed my phone to her. After checking it out, Shi Qinghe immediately retrieved her own phone to issue a series of directives. Shi Qinghe, regarding these things, had long since anticipated it. The power of social media nowadays is extremely massive. Along with my rise to fame, and the Shi family, along with my social connections, everything will be dug up inside out. But the thing that makes me most furious is that the mastermind behind this dared to smear Ye Chen like that. What's wrong with you? Shi Qinghe pulled back her annoyed look, smiling as she looked at me. It's nothing. I rolled my eyes. Do you take me for a blind person or what? Whatever. Even if you don't say it, I know for sure that resolving this issue is quite tricky. Yesterday, I helplessly watched my youngest aunt gain both fame and fortune in just one night. Everything flipped upside down. Youngest aunt married the man I didn't want yet today. She has completely overshadowed me. Feels so good, Shi Lingling thought as Qinghe texted back. Youngest aunt, about the stuff online, you shouldn't worry about it. It's all just clueless clout chasers, making random guesses out of nowhere. Are you referring to the fact that everyone knows you've been removed from the power center of the Shi family and banished to the West City branch? About this matter, I truly don't care at all. I coldly looked at her. Shi Lingling, you don't think that I would feel hurt or sad over words on the internet, do you? A flash of embarrassment crossed Shi Lingling's face when exposed by me. Really don't know what you have to be so smug about a woman who doesn't keep her promises. Like you did, you actually think you'd make a comeback? Getting into Shi Qinghei's car. My face was as dark as a pot bottom. Why does this car also have a seat exclusively for the husband? Don't tell me you stick them on all the passenger seats of all your cars. Of course, I have to stick them all. Otherwise, it'd affect my husband's spoiling image. What on earth is she talking about? Husband spoiling image, spoiling me. When did she ever spoil me? I looked at Shi Qinghei seriously, looking at her side profile, and gulping down my saliva. This look of hers is seriously so attractive. Am I going crazy? Or what? I didn't dare to look at Shi Qinghei anymore, my ears turning slightly red. Shi Qinghei smiled, gently. In another scene, the expressions on Shi Lingling's and Yueyu's faces were both extremely ugly. Yueyu, from my words earlier, analyzed, a truth, Lingling, you and Ye Chen are pure and innocent. Yueyu suddenly realized, you two have been engaged for 2 years already. 2 years. How could you be so useless? No wonder Ye Chen changed his heart so fast and even helped Shi Qinghei deal with us. Mom, I don't even love him, Shi Lingling stood up angrily screaming at Yueyu. Shi Lingling fumed with anger and stormed off, making Yueyu even angrier. Shi Lingling, this unfilial daughter. When I arrived at the company, my assistant hurriedly came out to greet me. The PR department has done as instructed. Plan to contact the platforms to request corrections and file complaints trying to push down false trending searches, but the opposite party has someone behind them constantly spreading rumors. The effectiveness is extremely limited, and furthermore, as the situation ferments, the people pulled in are getting more and more, and the forces fishing in muddy waters for profit behind the scenes are also growing. On our side, we are at a clear disadvantage. Hearing the assistant's report for a moment, I couldn't think of any good solution, either, for this kind of matter, unless we drop hard evidence to make everyone shut their mouths completely. Otherwise, we can only wait for netizens to lose interest and wait for this whole thing to cool down. But right now, we can't afford to wait. If we wait until the image of the Yi Corporation is damaged and the stock price plummets, we'll be totally cooked. Notify the PR department. To hold a meeting, I can't just sit here and wait to die. If everyone joins forces to brainstorm, no matter what, we'll come up with a way to resolve this in the meeting room. I clearly assigned the tasks. All right, let's brainstorm a solution together. Everyone began to discuss animatedly. The assistant holding a tablet walked in with a heavy expression saying, CEO, take a look at public opinion online. I took it to check it out. Ye Chen had long since colluded with Shi Qinghei. Ye Chen got engaged to Shi Lingling 2 years ago. He is an ambitious guy. Knowing the Shi family chose Shi Qinghei as the heir, leaving Shi Lingling completely hopeless. He dumped Shi Lingling, doing an instant 180 to entangle with Shi Qinghei. As for Shi Lingling, the reason she ran away from the wedding was also because right on the wedding day she found out about her fiancé's betrayal, so she ran away to get revenge. Both Lingling and Shi Qinghei were played by him like puppets now. The two of them turned against each other because of him, becoming bitter enemies. This hit piece post was frantically smearing me clueless clout chasers who didn't know the truth under the guidance of these rumors. And the paid smear campaign bots started using all kinds of nasty language to attack me. This whole thing was clearly targeted at me. My face looked extremely ugly. I said to the assistant, tell the lawyer to send a cease and desist letter to the person who spread this rumor. The assistant nodded. Just as I accidentally refreshed the search board, I discovered the trending search about me had disappeared. Huh. How did it disappear? Could it be someone removed the hashtag? Who could it be? I continued, monitoring the online situation, then discovered black PR posts on all major platforms had completely evaporated. Who flexed this hard? I sent a message into the group chat to my parents and sister, but the answers I received were all negative. If it wasn't them, then who could it be? Shi Qinghei, no way. But besides her, there's no one else. Right at this moment, the official account of the Shi Corporation posted an official statement. Certain online statements regarding Shi Qinghei and the reputation of Shi Qinghei's husband have caused severe negative impact. The Shi Corporation will press charges against accounts and individuals spreading false rumors. Furthermore, the statement even clarified the matter between me and Shi Lingling. This official statement from the She Corporation had just been released and public opinion online instantly reversed. The gaze of the gossip-hungry crowd immediately shifted onto Shi Lingling. And Gu-Dabai, yikes, is Shi Lingling blind or what? This Gu-Dabai guy, his appearance, family, background, and education. How does any of it compare to young Master Yi? The truth is out. Even though on the surface it looks like a relationship issue, from their choice of partner and work attitude, we can see their character, taste in people, and even their intelligence. Looks like the eyes of the public are still very sharp. It's not like everyone is like Shi Lingling, a blind fool. Removing the hashtag was indeed done by Xu Qinghe. Although doing this also benefited Xu Qinghe, I was also a beneficiary. Maybe I should properly express my thanks to Xu Qinghe. I texted. Xu Qinghe was removing the hashtag you're doing. Is this statement a bit too harsh on Shi Lingling? Why do you feel bad? ID. Is this announcement not too good for Shi Lingling? Why do you feel bad for her? Huh. Such a sarcastic tone. I was just asking a question. How did it turn into feeling bad for her? Unable to hold back, I argued back. I don't feel bad for her. It's just that Shi Lingling is also a member of the Shi family. If she gets scolded and attacked, the Shi family doesn't get any benefit either. So you'd rather let yourself get scolded just to protect Shi Lingling, huh? Why do you think so much for Shi Lingling's sake? Does Shi Lingling even know? Can you talk properly? Can you not be so bizarre like this? My husband is defending his ex-fiancée, so tell me how. Can I talk properly? I already said I wasn't defending Shi Lingling. I was just thinking about the big picture. The big picture is that you are my husband. You are the future male master of Shi Corporation. Your reputation is way more important than Shi Lingling's because we are husband and wife. Your reputation directly affects my reputation. All right, thank you, that's all. My patience is seriously limited, you know. To clear up the online rumors, I had to mobilize the PR legal department of the group to send evidence through multiple channels, issue an official statement spending who knows how much manpower and money, even exposing my niece's private affairs. Yet you just used 2 words. Thank you to brush me off. Speechless Xu Qinghe saying, this makes it sound like she actually cares about the reputation of her eldest niece, Shi Lingling. We're both 1,000-year-old foxes. Here, what is she pretending for? Anyone can see Xu Qinghe wants to completely ruin Shi Lingling, destroying any chance of Shi Lingling making a comeback. What do you want then? I'm a woman who likes practical action. So your thank you also needs to be substantial. How much money do you want? You think I did all these things? For money I don't need money. What I want you know very well. What do you mean? Is it the kind of thing I'm thinking about? Don't go too far. Hubby, what's wrong with you? Don't call me hubby. But you are my husband. Though, if I don't call you hubby, what should I call you? Xu Qinghe definitely wasn't like this before, or rather, in reality, back when there were no other people around, Xu Qinghe was also like this. It's just that I didn't understand back then. If I had known earlier, Xu Qinghe was this kind of woman no matter what, I wouldn't have agreed to marry her at first. Too bad it's already too late. Although I can't see Ye Chen right now, he must be super annoyed, yet completely helpless against me. I love the look of Ye Chen hating my guts, yet not being able to fix me. Right as Xu Qinghe was about to put down her phone to work, noisy sounds came from outside. Ms. Shi, you can't go in. Move out of the way. Ms. Shi Lingling directly pushed open the door and burst in. The assistant looked at Xu Qinghe with an awkward and self-reproaching look. Xu Qinghe calmly said, you go outside. Yes, ma'am. Shi Lingling glared furiously at Xu Qinghe. Youngest aunt, why did you use the company's official account to post that kind of announcement? Why can't I post it? Right now, I was sitting in the PR room of the Ye Corporation. Earlier, Xu Qinghe took the time to send me a clip from the CCTV surveillance camera in her office. In the video, Shi Lingling clenched her fists tightly, her eyes red, her tone filled with resentment. Do you know that right now the entire circle is talking behind my back? Clearly, you're borrowing the resources of Shi Corporation, teaming up with the Yi Corporation to suppress me wanting to devour all the speaking rights in Grandpa's hands. Xu Qinghe sat up straight in her office chair, her face calm without a single ripple, replying with crystal clarity. The original purpose of my announcement was never targeted at you. From the start, you ran away from the wedding right on your wedding day, and even took the initiative to publicly leak intimate photos of you and Gu-Dabai. You were the one who exposed your private romance to the public first dragging along. Huge wave of malicious bot armies to fabricate rumors while simultaneously attacking the reputation of both She Corporation and the Yi Corporation. As the person in charge, she exposed her personal relationship ID to the public first, bringing in a massive influx of malicious astroturfers to fabricate pipe rumors while attacking the reputation of both She Corp and Ye. Vertical Bar Corporation 1 as the person in charge. 3001 3001 project of She Corporation to come. 3002 3002 out and clarify the truth to protect the reputation of the 3003 3003 Corporation was just doing my job and duty, that's all. 3004 3004 Yi Corporation and She Corporation are two independent. 3005 Vertical Bar Vertical Bar 3005 Vertical Bar Enterprises. Before this announcement was 3006 3006 posted. I had zero private contact. 3007 3007 with the Yi family. There was absolutely 3008 3008. No teaming up to scheme against you. Shilingling 3009 3009 still refused to back down. But we're 3010 Vertical Bar Vertical Bar 3010 Vertical Bar family. Could you not have advised your niece 3011 pipe pipe 3011 pipe privately with a few words? 3012 Vertical Bar Vertical Bar 3012 Vertical Bar. Why expose everything to 3013 3013? The light. Business is business. Personal is personal. 3014 pipe pipe 3014 pipe. Grandpa sent you. 3015 3015 to the West City branch to give you a chance to calm down. 3016 3016 and self-reflect. If you still fail to realize 3017 pipe pipe 3017 pipe your own issues. 3018 3018. Then no matter where you go, it'll be hard to grow. 3019 3019. A whole lecture of 3020 pipe pipe 3020 pipe arguments left. She Lingling with zero room for excuses. 3021 pipe pipe 3021 pipe. She aggressively stomped her feet. 3022 3022 slammed the door shut and left in a rage. I turned off the video on my 3023 pipe pipe 3023 pipe phone, my heart surging with a wave of guilt and uncontrollable 3024 3024 emotion. Wasn't the root of all this. 3025 pipe pipe 3025 pipe trouble. 3026 3026 from the engagement. 3027 3027 years ago between me and She Lingling. Yet after 3028 3028. The storm broke out all the pressure. 3029 3029 was shoulder borne by Shu Qinghe alone. 3030 pipe pipe 3030 pipe. I was always stubbornly trying to draw clear boundaries. 3031 3031 between Yi Corporation and She Corporation thinking. 3032 3032. The two of us were just a fake. 3033 3033. Couple bound by interests, single-mindedly planning. 3034  3034 to get a peaceful divorce in a few years. 3035 3035. Thinking back now, I was truly way too childish. I took the initiative to 3036 pipe pipe 3036 pipe call. Shiqinghe my tone. 3037 Vertical Bar Vertical Bar 3037 Vertical Bar, carrying sincere regret. I just finished watching 3038 pipe pipe 3038 pipe, the surveillance video clip you sent. I'm sorry. 3039 3039 for making you suffer like this again. All these troubles were caused by me. 3040 3040 yet. In the end, you had to step up alone. 3041 3041 to deal with it. From the other end came 3042 vertical bar ID vertical bar 3042 vertical bar. Her soft chuckles. 3043 vertical bar. 3043 vertical bar without a single trace of blame. Why are you saying sorry? 3044 pipe ID pipe 3044 pipe to me. From the start, agreeing. 3045 ID. 3045 to marry in her place was my own choice. I never. 3046 vertical bar ID, vertical bar. 3046 vertical bar, viewed it as a burden. Before. 3047 ID. 3047. This my mind only held gains and losses. When working together I always 3048 ID. 3048 guarded against her always calculating. 3049 ID, 3049 and nitpicking with her. Over this period big and small public, 3050 ID, 3050. Opinion storms and intentional targetings, 3051 ID, 3051 from outsiders. She always calmly without breaking, 3052 ID, 3052. A sweat resolved them for 3053 ID 3053 me, secretly protecting Yi Corporation's reputation. 3054 ID 3054 and protecting me as well. Now, 3055 ID 3055 I don't want to just be a contractual couple. 3056 ID 3056. Calculating gains and losses with her. 3057 ID 3057 anymore. I like you, and I want to spend the rest of our lives together. 3058 ID. 3058. The other end of the line was silent for a moment. Yeah. 3059 ID. 3059. Chen, I've finally waited for the moment you let down your walls. 3060 vertical bar. ID vertical bar. 3060 vertical bar. Actually, all these years. 3061 vertical bar. ID vertical bar. 3061 vertical bar. I never really disliked you. Hanging up. 3062. ID. 3062. The phone, all the worries in my heart vanished completely. 3063 ID. 3063. Goodbye pretended to be a devoted lover. 3064 ID. 3064. Only wanting to cling to the wealthy elite, seeing Shi Ling Ling. 3065. ID. 3065. Lose power. His heart immediately turned cold. Zhou Hubai had feelings. 3066 vertical bar. ID vertical bar. 3066 vertical bar. For Shi Qinghe, 3067 ID. 3067. Yet she always kept absolute distance. 3068 ID, 3068 never getting involved with. 3069 ID. 3069 the work of the two families. UAU tried to smooth over. 3070 ID. 3070. The relationship with her daughter, but Shi Lingling. 3071 ID. 3071 still refused to self-reflect. Her performance over. 3072 ID. 3072. A long time kept ranking dead last completely. 3073 ID 3073, losing any chance to return. 3074 ID. 3074 to Shy Corporation's core leadership. Every single person. 3075. ID 3075 had to bear the consequences of their own choices. 3076 ID. 3076. Dusk fell. After wrapping up all the work, 3077 ID. 3077 at Yi Corporation, I drove. 3078 ID. 3078 down to Shy Corporation's building to pick up Shi Qinghe. 3079 ID. 3079 from work returning to our bridal room. 3080 ID. 3080. The warm yellow light. 3081 ID. 3081 in the room softly spread out. Outside the floor-to-ceiling glass, 3082 ID. 3082 window. The sky was filled with sunset glow dying. 3083 ID. 3083 layer upon layer of clouds. From behind, I gently hugged her waist. 3084 ID. 3084. the tip of my nose resting on the top. 3085 ID. 3085 of her head. In the future for work will 3086 ID. 3086. Still keep maintaining a healthy separation. 3087 ID. 3087. Corporation and Shy Corporation won't interfere with each other. 3088 ID. 3088. In our life, there won't be a distinction of mine or yours. 3089 ID. 3089. No need to weigh. 3090 ID. 3090 interests. And no need to act or put on a show anymore. Ching Hee. 3091 ID. 3091 reached out her hand, taking the back of my hand. 3092 ID. 3092. That was hugging her gently, leaning her head. 3093 ID. 3093 against my chest. No need to divide two families. 3094 ID. 3094. No need to distinguish mine from yours. 3095 ID. 3095 for all the months and years you us peacefully staying side by side. 3096 ID. 3096 is more than enough. The night breeze slowly. 3097 ID. 3097. Blew in from the floor-to-ceiling window carrying a subtle scent of flowers. 3098 ID. 3098. The sworn enemies of the past who always crossed paths. 3099 ID. 3099 have now become each other's sole support. Now I've become the sole backing of ID. 3101. All the rumors, conflicts, and calculations. ID 3102 from the past have completely vanished into ID 3103 thin air, leaving only two hearts. ID 3104 snuggled close to each other. ID 3105 embracing pure tenderness together as they face. ID 3106 a fulfilling sunlit future.